Danfo offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshi traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danfo, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danfo, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danfo, Africa. To learn more, visit danfo.africa.
Peace, family. We are live again. Donnie Samir, Search for Huru. Thank you all. Thanks so much for joining. Hit that like button and please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. Just real quick, I want to thank you all. I want to thank all of you for the support over the years. It means a lot. If you're new, don't be a stranger. Join the family. Join the In Search of Uhuru family. I would love to have you all and host you all and all that good stuff. So again, please hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Got a couple of announcements. Announcement number one: we are rolling to Cape Town, March 25th through April 2nd. March 25th through April 2nd. We are rolling to Cape Town for the Cape Town International Jazz Festival. We are then rolling to Senegal in May 9th through the 18th for the Oshun Festival. For the Oshun Festival. I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself. We're rolling to Senegal in May for the St. Louis Jazz Festival in Senegal. And that's March 9th through the 18th. Then we're going to Nigeria in August 2nd to the 11th for the Oshun Festival. Zanzibar in September for Safari Blue. That's September 20th to 29th. And then we're ending the year off with Ghana and Ivory Coast. That is going to be in November. If you're interested in joining, please visit Danfo. That's DANFO .Africa. Again, please visit Danfo. That's DANFO .Africa to learn more. We will love to have you. That's the site right there, you all. That's the front page. Make sure you go and go check us out. Go check us out. Sign up for the list, the mailing list, and I promise you're gonna get a call back from me. I mean, some people get surprised when I actually call back, but no. You are going to get a call back from me. Without further ado, let's jump into today's topic. I found this on hold on, let me blow this up real quick. Can I go to full screen on this? Yeah, okay. I found this on Twitter, on X, the other day. Let me send this real quick. Let me share the screen. And no, let me just play it, then we'll get into it.
Nyerere was being, like Nkrumah had been previously, was being idolized in the black world. And you, just like there had been these American black expats who had gone to Ghana, you had these black expats living living in Tanzania, and I just found them very funny actually, because they were living in this country but they hadn't learned the language.
I struggle with that
And then
myself.
when I got off the plane and ran into them, and I just thought it was very revealing the questions they asked me. How were the Green Bay Packers doing?
The Packers suck.
Which was
That's how
another
they do it.
important
Hey,
lesson that I learned.
I can answer that. The Packers suck. Outside of the year they had Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre, but for the most part, the Packers suck. So I could have answered that question. But I see, and just to give more context, this guy, he went to Tanzania. There were expats there. And like you said, like a lot of us, I'm just as guilty. We don't learn the local language, so it's hard for us to really, really, truly integrate. And then there are a lot of Western luxuries that some of us still want access to. I'll give you an example. I don't know why. Again, I don't know why. Whenever I'm in Nigeria and I go to Lagos, I gotta eat Cold Stone. I don't know why. Like, I don't eat Cold Stone here in America, but damn it, I'll eat the Cold Stone in Nigeria, which is interesting, very interesting. But his brother brought up how they were asking how the Green Bay Packers is doing. So I'm guessing this is, I don't know, they don't have, this is well before internet. I guess this was shot when this guy was interviewed. I wonder what year this was, but let me start from the beginning.
You know, Nyerere was being, like Nkrumah had been previously, was being idolized in the black world.
Oh, let me back up. Okay, it was he said Nyerere. So Nyerere was in office. He was president of Tanzania from, let's see here, 1964 to 1985. Okay. Yeah, so I'm guessing they didn't have access to finding out or making a phone call on how the Green Bay Packers is doing. Yeah, so it makes sense. So when Julius Nyerere was in office.
And you, just like there had been these American black expats who had gone to Ghana, you had these black expats living in Tanzania, and I just found them very funny actually, because they were living in this country but they hadn't learned the language. And then when I got off the plane and ran into them, and I just thought it was very revealing the questions they asked me. How were the Green Bay Packers doing?
They suck.
Which was another important lesson that I learned, which was reinforced when after I went to Cuba. You may rail against this country.
Mm-hmm.
You may call it all kinds of names, but you have no idea how it has crept into your mind. What are you used to? You go in, it's dark in a room, and you turn on the lights. But what happens when you're somewhere where there is no electricity? Or you're going to...
Right. So, and I used to be that, oh, America's going to fail, America's going to fall. But why would I want that? You know, we complain about the United States of America. We rail on it. We talk bad about it. But the USA is still one of the greatest countries on earth. The USA is the only country where a brother like me can strive and succeed. One of the few where you have the opportunity to do great and do well. We have infrastructure. We have social safety nets that a lot of times get abused and exploited. But the United States of America, even with this turbulent past, is still one of the greatest countries ever. And trust me, I used to be on the America's gonna fall, America is falling, America's, this, that, and other. But I'm like, why would I want that when I live here? I want America to succeed. Now we are indirectly complicit via our tax dollars with some of the, I would say, Team America Rural Police activities that go on. But America is still one of the greatest countries ever, United States of America, where even though everything that we've been through as Black people, we still have opportunity to be successful. All right, if you have the will, if you work hard, you could become and do anything, everything you want here in the United States of America. Yeah, I said it. Is America perfect? Absolutely not. Let's continue.
take a shower and you must in your shower and water being pumped from the sea, or there are no. I was going to visit my grandparents in Georgia. I was used to outhouses, so that wasn't that wasn't. But still, you gain more appreciation of the extent to which you may have disagreements with a particular society, but how it has affected you in ways that are beyond your kin, and that you then have to come to terms with. You then have to come to terms with the degree to which you have been socialized by the forces that you are railing against. So that was an important lesson for me in Dar.
All right, guys. Links in the chat room if you want to call in and add to the conversation. You're more than welcome to call in and add to the conversation. Again, link is in the chat room if you want to call in and add to the conversation. You're more than welcome to call in and add to the conversation. Would love to hear from you all. Love to hear your input. How's everyone doing today? Again, how's everyone doing today? But again, guys, links in the chat room if you want to call in and add to the convo. You're more than welcome to call in and add to the convo. We're gonna watch this again. This is a good piece.
You know, Nyerere was being like Nkrumah had been previously, was being idolized in the black world, and just like there had been these American black expats who had gone to Ghana, you had these black expats living in Tanzania, and I just found them very funny actually, because they were living in this country but they hadn't learned the language. And then when I got off the plane and ran into them, and I just thought it was very revealing, the questions they asked me. How were the Green Bay Packers doing? At Kettering, which was another important lesson that I learned, which was reinforced when after I went to Cuba. You may rail against this country, you may call it all kinds of names, but you have no idea how it has crept into your mind. How what are you used to? You go in, it's dark in a room, and you turn on the lights. But what happens when you're somewhere where there is no electricity, or you're going to take a shower and you must in your shower and water being pumped from the sea, or there are no. I was going to visit my grandparents in Georgia. I was used to outhouses, so that wasn't that wasn't. But still, you gain more appreciation of the extent to which you may have disagreements with a particular society, but how it has affected you in ways that are beyond your kin, and that you then have to come to terms with. You then have to come to terms with the degree to which you have been socialized by the forces that you are railing against. So that was an important lesson for me in Dar.
Dar's a beautiful country. Tanzania is a beautiful country. I actually go to Zanzibar in September. But this is a common thread. This is a common as well. For some reason, all the socialist African leaders or socialist period get idolized by the black community. I don't know why. Don't get me wrong. Kwame Nkrumah and Julius Nyerere were great men, but there was just a lot of corruption that was going on while they're in office. And I don't know why socialism and communism and Marxism, I don't know why they attract just shady ass leaders. All right, Angola, go ahead.
First of all, good afternoon.
Pete,
Uh, Thank you for the platform.
no problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to categorically disagree. The United States of America has taken far, far more from our specific demographic than what it has given. Um, the economy was built upon our labor. Then the subsequent disenfranchisement, and now what? Since I guess you could say from 65 on, we've had some semblance of independence, but even from that time, there was still oppression. So the access to a standard of living that we are quote unquote afforded within this country, we have more than earned. And I'm not gonna give this country per se credit for it. I think we could have done better on our own, left to our own devices if we were left unfettered. Um, if we talking about exchange of technology on West Africa, yeah, we weren't as, I would say, technologically advanced as some other places. But again, if with the exchange of technology left to our own devices, we would be exponentially in better position, especially culturally from a social dynamic. Socially, our people are destroyed. We are confused. We don't know who we are. We Hebrew Israelites one day, we Muslims the next day, we're Scientologists the next day. Our family structure is horrible, and even from a semblance of our self confidence and our self actualization, we have become domesticated. In my opinion, we have become akin to domesticated animals. We can't think outside of the realm and confines of European, Eurasian mindset. So to me, that far outweighs any benefits that we gain from an intrinsic level. Majority of people are going to think from a pragmatic standpoint how they benefit directly, because a lot of our people don't really put in perspective what our ancestors actually had to endure and actually had to go through, and how that affects us today. It's easy for us to come on the internet now and uh, praise the quote unquote country, but again, it's taken far more than it's given, especially from our perspective directly. And that goes for people in the Caribbean as well, with their relationship with the United Kingdom and people that were colonized by France as well, even on the continent with their colonial relationships.
What do you think? Oh, let me, it's Castronova. Go ahead, Castronova, mute yourself.
Peace to everybody on the panel. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we hear you.
Hey, I would agree with that brother what he just said with the analogy of domesticated animals. Only I would say that humans are indeed animals. So yeah, we are domesticated. Many of us, well, most of us can't think outside of that herd mindset, and that plagues us. Yeah, I would agree with everything he just said, man.
Okay. So Angola, what the brother just said on the who was being interviewed, you don't, as far as what specifically that do you disagree with him with?
I think because I didn't get to see what he just said in entirety, but
Well,
I hear this.
let me play it again. I'll play it again real quick. Let me play it
Okay.
again.
Thanks, Thanos.
You know, Nyerere was being, like Nkrumah had been previously, was being idolized in the black world. And just like there had been these American black expats who had gone to Ghana, you had these black expats living in Tanzania. And I just found them very funny, actually, because they were living in this country, but they hadn't learned the language. And then when I got off the plane and ran into them, and I just thought it was very revealing, the questions they asked me. How were the Green Bay Packers doing? At Cataract, which was another important lesson that I learned, which was reinforced when after I went to Cuba. You may rail against this country. You may call it all kinds of names, but you have no idea how it has crept into your mind. What are you used to? You go in, it's dark in a room, and you turn on the lights. But what happens when you're somewhere where there is no electricity? Or you're going to take a shower, and your shower and water being pumped from the sea, or there are no. I was going to visit my grandparents in Georgia, I was used to outhouses, so that wasn't that wasn't. But still, you gain more appreciation of the extent to which you may have disagreements with a particular society, but how it has affected you in ways that are beyond your kin, and that you then have to come to terms with. You then have to come to terms with the degree to which you have been socialized by the forces that you are railing against. So that was an important lesson for me in Dar.
Based upon what he stated, I think the dynamics that he articulated were accurate in terms of how the United States system socializes Americans, for like in terms of infrastructure and just American exceptionalism in itself. But what I disagree with is him prioritizing and putting on a pedestal the standard of living. Okay, so you're going to a different environment, and yes, the standard of living is lower, but the opportunities that entail with you going back to the continent to where you actually came from, genetically, lineage wise, the opportunity that you have to build is going to be far more rewarding than living off in the comforts of somebody else's infrastructure that they built off the backs of your people. Especially from a masculine and male standpoint, to me, it's extremely effeminate for a man to be comfortable their entire life, being okay with living off another man's infrastructure that they built off the backs of your ancestors while they're directly trying to disenfranchise you contemporarily. So I'll let somebody else speak, though.
Go ahead, Johnny.
All right, appreciate it, Donnie. Thanks for having me on, man.
Oh, no problem.
So I do agree with what Dude was saying that you had speaking. Yeah, man. The least you can do when visiting somewhere, I think it is to try to be immersed in the culture, which obviously, largely includes learning the language. I can speak a little bit, but I'm not perfect. I can understand and have basic conversations. So, I learned that prior to my visits to the continent, though. It's in our hands way more than ever before. Information, that people would have killed for during the early waves of Pan-Africanism. So I think that it's kind of it's negligent to not capitalize on those opportunities that we have. I think that when I do go, well, let me start with this. When I do go abroad, I do notice that a lot of the people from America and stuff are not really mixing too much with locals, and they don't really study the language. A lot of other people have worse Swahili than me, where I have to literally translate, what these people are trying to say sometimes, and they live there. I was like, man, for me, I couldn't imagine doing that, but it works for them, I guess. That's as far as the people, though. I think sometimes we do kind of like to complain about the systems and things that we have here in the United States, because we do come from a place of comfort, and in a lot of cases, privilege. No matter how you want to look at it, it's privilege. Like you were saying, man, some of our stories that we have would not be possible in other parts of the world. Just as simple as it, mattering where we were born in. If with my situation, without going into too much details and stuff, if I was born in a somewhere in an African country, I probably, most likely would not be, anywhere near where I am today, in a lot of different levels. So yeah, we kind of get used to the standard of living here. We would like to see that improve in other places. We want to be involved in the building of that for a lot of us. But I thought that in order to do that, you would have to kind of immerse with the people. But some people are just kind of fed up, and they do want to leave because of that. And there's a non-negligible size of the population of repats that are just kind of fed up with how the system and things are going. And they hate America, and they hate it enough to where they would want to go over there. And they make hateful videos and stuff. And usually those people end up having to come back. They hate it so much, but they realize how good they have it compared to other situations. And a lot of times they do end up coming back, closing their YouTube channels and stuff like that. It happens too often. So, I mean, if you want to come from a place from sincerity and not necessarily a place of hate, if you want to accomplish something. So, yeah, I think it's just important to take that in mind. Our ancestors, in a lot of cases, heritage Americans, did put a lot of building into this, and it wasn't just for nothing. We owe gratitude to a lot of them, and I think in some degree, a lot of diaspora they kind of owe that to the people who were here before us in the United States as well. So I mean, it's important to compartmentalize that, and not just something you brush aside. I'll just leave it at that.
All right, let me read the super chat. Some or none other T3K. Thank you for $2 holla. Skillless people can't build. Some black men are mentally women. All right, thank you, our
Hello?
feminist sister. All right, go ahead, Sandman. Sandman. All right, Sandman, call back in. All right, guys, links in the chat room. Link is in the chat room. If you want to call in after the conversation, you're more than welcome to call in after the convo. All right, go ahead, Sandman.
Hey, can you hear me now?
You're kind of
Can't hear
your
nobody.
connection.
Almost the audio
Yeah, your
went out.
connection's kind of your mic is kind of acting up. Try and talk again.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think it comes to a point where it's a tough pill to swallow, but sometimes we gotta take that L. You know what I mean? We lost, you know what I'm saying? It was a deal struck in between, the Europeans and the Africans that were engaged in the slave trade. They sold us for umbrellas and liquor and mirrors and the white man was more than happy to strike that deal because it was something valuable, like the labor of Africans for something cheap. I look at it the same way. If I was to go to a third world country and they're sitting on top of millions of pounds of gold, and one of the locals said that he likes the way my hat looks and he wants my hat for 100 pounds of gold. Am I going to not take the gold and say no? I don't. That I'm taking advantage of you? No, I'm gonna just take his gold because he doesn't know what the value of it. So maybe we and and come all the way down to the situation that we're in now. It took more than one generation to get in this situation. It's going to take a lot longer. It's going to take more than one generation to get out of it. It was a long line of mistakes that we made. We got to be smarter about things. You know what I'm saying? Invest our money. You know what I mean? We do, like Dinah said, this is, the most powerful or country in the world or whatever. And if you're smart about the way that you invest your money, if you, smart about the way that you do business, if you, stick together with your families, then you can build an empire, and you might not be able to see the fruits of all your labor, but your children and your grandchildren will. So, we gotta think ahead for ourselves, you know what I mean? Learn to make better investments and get back in touch with the homeland, in Africa, you know what I'm saying? Because that'll help bring up our moral and our pride and our self-worth by being in touch with, where we come from. But no, we can't look back and say, hey, cry for spilled milk. No, we got beat, we got robbed. It's like that. You took an L. Take that L, you know what I'm saying? Get back up. You know what I mean? We still here. There's a billion of us. We still here. We took we fell off a little bit. And we could just come back up, you know what I'm saying? And I yield with the fool with that.
All right, let me pass the mic to Buff Travels. Go ahead, Buff Travels, and meet yourself. Buff Travels, and meet yourself.
Yes, hello everyone. I think anyway, greetings. First time here. I'm a big fan of your channel, so I'm honored. All I will say is it's very important if you do go to Africa from the diaspora, you have to find a way to blend in. And you have to of course, get familiar with the culture, and try to speak the language. It's very, very important. There's no point in being in Africa if you can't if you can't try to, let's say, camouflage or to understand the people you're gonna be with, especially, you're sharing the same color, or you look, Africans in the diaspora. You come to Africa, you look like an African no matter what, unless maybe you have some European blood in you or something like that. But still, you have to find a way to blend in. And also, we need to stop. There's a lot of Africans in the diaspora, when they go to Africa, they still want the Western perks. They still want the advantages, or I don't know, it's like an entitlement thing, which has to stop. Because if you want to look at Africa as long term, you have to look at the good, bad, and the ugly. Because the reason why I'm saying that, if you look at the Lebanese people, I'm originally from Ghana, but I've been lucky. I've been traveling throughout West Africa. I was just in Sierra Leone, but I noticed when I was in Sierra Leone, the Lebanese people are very strong over there. You understand me? And you find that the Lebanese people, if they have to behave or act like an African, they can do it. You find Lebanese people speaking Creole. You go to Ghana, they speak in Tree, they speak in Ga, they speak in Fanti if they have to. Because with these Lebanese people, sorry if I'm going off topic, but with these Lebanese people, they move on survival. And the reason why they move on survival is because they know that Africa's heaven. They don't want to leave Africa. They're reaping all the benefits in Africa, especially West Africa. But when I was in Syria, especially, I just noticed that the Africans in the diaspora, they just want to come home and, fantasize Africa and just party. And, it's interesting because the Africans in diaspora can't party in the West or live their best life in the West. But when they go Africa, they want to live their best life in Africa. Yes, I understand that, but we got to look at long term, But I'll leave it here for now and listen to everyone else. So, yeah. All right. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Em. Unmute yourself.
Thank you, sir. I want to make a couple of comments. I wish I would have caught your opening monologue so I could comment on that, but I heard one brother talk about how we don't know who we are, we Moors, Hebrew Israelites, and I want to comment on what the last brother just said, how he's praising Lebanese, but at the same time denigrating black people from the diaspora who want to party, whatever they want to do. We got the right to do that. But why is it that you want to just praise a colonizer or a person of a different ethnicity from Lebanon, but you don't see a problem with denigrating blacks? But what I want to talk about the other guy, when he was saying that we don't know who we are, we're lost, and America has taken so much from us, I think we need to really speak highly of our people, especially the people from America, because we're really at a net gain. If you talk about how we was basically stripped from nothing, in the Bible they talk about we was grinded to a fine powder, and we was able to come out of that and still have something. Anything plus is a gain, and I think people should celebrate that more. Speak more positive about us, or even tell people in their countries how good we treat them, instead of coming back saying, "Oh, they want to party." I mean, everybody in the world want to party, but I want to comment on the topic that I read on the video, how somebody's laughing at Pan-Africans from moving to Africa. I think that's pretty absurd, because particularly as black men, it's women too that go back to Africa. We go back for different reasons, but us as black men since the 1960s, we have been under like a constant barrage of attack. We just came from a victory when we got civil rights. We got all of these acts passed. But it seems as though we wanted reinforcements from Africa to help us build on the victory. But these reinforcements, not just from Africa, but India, Asia, South America, it seems as though they came to defend and strengthen the white man. And it seems as though the white man was able to regroup within the last 60 years by way of these people who came through the Immigration Reform Act and affirmative action. And now we're at a We're struggling because our women, black women from America, don't really speak highly of us. They don't see us in a high esteem. And also African women. Somebody told African women the same stereotypes, so a lot of them don't look at us in esteem. So the black men that's going to Africa, I think we're really looking to regroup for self-preservation purposes. And I think when we go to Africa, we probably should go looking for opportunities without Africans, unless the Africans want something to do with us. But a lot of Africans have a tribalist, like he said, we Moors and Israelites. You know, you got a lot of religious dynamics there too, and they bicker and argue just the same way. So that I think that's human nature. But I think a lot of black men that go to Africa should go looking for opportunities to grow and to regroup. And also, if we want to have allies, we should have allies. We should look for sovereign autonomy. Even though we have Sierra Leone and Liberia, we should have something else that we establish that we can control solely without having to get permission from an African. That's what I want to say.
And you want to do that inside Africa?
Anywhere in Africa. Africa is a massive territory, and we have a right to Africa.
Have you ever been to Africa?
I have not been to Africa.
Okay.
But I think I have a right. Dinus, a couple of days ago, I conceded that, okay, we come from Africa. That means that I feel I have a right to land in Africa without having to be getting permission from a pre-established post-colonial country like a Ghana or Nigeria. Like that was British territory. But I think we, just like the France and the Dutch was able to go to Africa with the Berlin Conference with King Leopold, I think we have the same right to Africa without needing permission. And we should have the right to self-determination there, because here we have Africans, black women from America, white people. Everybody got this constant barrage of stereotypes against us here. We're going extinct. The one thing I respect about the African women, they are loyal to their tribe, they're loyal to their men, and they reproduce. In America, black women abort our children at a massive rate. They denigrate us like we are literally going extinct here. And then a lot of us is in prison, disease. So I think Africa could be a way for us to regroup, or anywhere in the world outside of white supremacy, because we wanted the Africans to help us in our struggle for autonomy and independence. But when they came here, they came to help the white man. So we were actually suffering more now than we were in the 1960s. But I think we have a right to Africa, and we shouldn't have to go through a king or some president and ask him for citizenship. I think.
Em, I was saying the same thing, but that's just not the reality.
We have to make it the reality.
No, you're right. You're right. But let me pass the mic to Kala. Go ahead, Kala. Unmute yourself, Kala.
Well, after the last guy, I don't think I have anything to say. You know, I agree with him 100%. What his brother was just saying, he must be a College Nation listener. You know, bottom line is this: there's no relationship. If anybody tells you that we don't have a right to establish ourselves in Africa, sovereign like that, they're not a brother of ours. You don't believe in Africanism, you don't believe in, and you're a closet white supremacist. Because the only thing basically holding Africa, holding it back, is white people's claim to Africa. They still claim Africa. And Africans act as surrogates to maintain these borders that were set up by the white man, facilitated by the white man, and benefit the Europeans. There's no real nation states in Africa. So why hold on to these territories? You know, and we need to reconfigure these territories and give people from the diaspora territory for Africa self-determination. That's what I feel about it. And also about this topic. The other brother before him was saying, we got too used to America. Let me tell you something, folks. You don't listen to nothing I say. Black people cannot say they built civilization. They had all this ancient civilization thousands of years ago. We had running water and all stuff like that. But yet, when we say, okay, we go to Africa, oh no, you got to get rid of toilets. Oh no, you got to get rid of running water. Oh no. Refrigeration out of the question. You know, healthcare, oh man, just forget about it. You know, Why is it that Africa can't give the basics, the essential, the basics? If Africa was to provide the basics for its people and people coming there, millions of black people from the West would go there. The basics, the basics: running water, electricity, you know, paved roads, railway, transportation, communication, education, healthcare, basic healthcare. If you give people the basics, they're satisfied. They'll build on the other stuff that they want after that. But everybody wants to go to Africa. They want to build a big giant house, and they don't have no roads, no infrastructure, or anything. That's what makes it like a laughable. Get the basics down packed. Everybody that go to Africa is saying, yo, look, forget about building a big house. Let's build a pattern of roads. Let's finance the roads. Let's do what we got to do to volunteer. If we got to get out there ourselves and clear fields and build roads and whatnot, and work with the local governments to make this happen. That we're going to live in a modern society. A modern society doesn't mean Western. We got to stop that nonsense. Because when you say that, you're saying that the black race is inferior. Asia, South America, Dinus, has given the people the basics. Dinus, South America, they got no natural resources. Countries like Bolivia and all these people can give everybody electricity, running water, and all the basics. I'm saying in Africa, electricity, he got electricity. That's like a luxury. No, it should be everybody should have a requirement as electricity on the grid. Running water, hot water, heating water. All the basic things that should be there. We should not be arguing about that, as a deal breaker, because that should be provided. But I pass the mic.
All right, go ahead, CD.
Hey, Dennis.
Beef.
Yeah. So, I think if the African Americans want to wait for everything to be perfect in Africa, I think it's going to be late for
I
them.
said the basics, bro.
Yeah, Carlos, I understand what you're saying. I'm not opposing what you're saying, but
Hey, yo, look,
yeah,
you guys spent, hold up, your last president of Ghana, I mean to interrupt you, spent all the money. I watched him go out there, Nana Adu, flying over around the world on jets. You know how much it costs every time he gets on that jet? $700,000. And people in this country don't have basic school supplies. We're going over there as African Americans, spending our money opening schools for these people. Enough is enough.
And
yeah,
those
I'm not.
people
I'm.
do not
I'm.
want Ghana, Paula.
I'm not Ghanaian. Luckily for me, I'm not Ghanaian.
How long
But
into the
But yeah,
so
that could be any country in Africa,
yeah. So
Museveni spent like a $2 million hosting a Commonwealth thing where people get eaten by crocodiles in a fucking river. Come on,
yeah, Carlos, I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying people, living in America. I would take mine for example, right? I came from Liberia and Civil War destroyed everything. So my first visit, when my dad passed away, so I went and then decided that I'm not going to go back to Africa again. Then COVID came 2019, and then my job went remotely 100%. So that gave me opportunity to travel around. My first visit was in Cote d'Ivoire, Abidjan, because my sister she's married there, and that was a game change for me, right? From that on, I started working remotely, investing in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, and went to Guinea Conakry, and I understand French, but I don't speak French, but I speak Mandingo anyway. That gave me a little bit of flexibility to traveling in West Africa. That was a big change for me. I don't think if I spend almost 80% of my time right now in Africa, and I go to a lot of remote places. So if you say that people should wait until everything develop, it's going to be late for African Americans.
I think
When
he
I went to
means we
Liberia,
need.
I traveled all the way
Hold on.
to.
The
Let me
African
I
finish.
think
Americans
he
are
means.
first world
I
people,
think he
bro.
means we should do the infrastructure. He's
I'm
not
not
talking
saying.
about waiting on the infrastructure.
Yeah,
We have a
I'm.
mentality of building.
This is
Nobody's
my
waiting.
reason of saying that people will say, oh, this first when you tell them to go to
No,
Africa, they will say, is there any
African
drinking?
American. First of all, African
Hey,
American.
y'all
Let me
gotta
Hey,
stop
finish.
interrupting him. He hasn't got the finish.
let City finish. Go ahead,
Oh
City.
my God. Let me finish. So I'm not saying that people should go and build infrastructure. That's not your responsibility. But Carla, you've been to Ganta, right? Ganta probably is one of the crowded city right now in Liberia, right? So when I went to Ganta before, it used to be the Lebanese. Now I've seen the Indians coming. They have cold storage selling fish. I've seen Chinese, living in a remote part of Ivory Coast, Guinea, and they
Yeah, these are
succeeding.
third world people, man.
Well, I mean, no matter what, they came from a place where system works, right? They have a good infrastructure. Things work for them, especially for the
Have you
Chinese,
seen rural India, bro?
right?
Worse than Liberia.
What's that?
Rural India has less than you guys got.
We have less
They have
Indian.
open rural India. The number one thing in rural India, even though it's open defecation.
Okay, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That I'm not
So
saying that
yo,
African
you're
Americans should go to
West
build to
Africa's next
build.
to come up.
I'm
West
not saying
Africa
they
don't
should
come up
go.
to them. You can't compare them to us.
Carl, you got to adjust. Each time when you travel, you go to certain places. Even back in the days, we used to see the Peace Corps from the US. They will go and live in a remote part of Africa, right? And they will help people with it in terms of education, agriculture. So you have to make your hand dirty to penetrate the system. But if you say, well, there's no running water, there's need, it's going to be get late. It's going to get late before people. I have seen white American living in a remote part of Africa,
Yep. No
millionaire.
problem.
He got a good money, and there's no electricity, and he's surviving. He making his money. So waiting to see, well, the infrastructure has to be better. You have to get a good water running system before you invest. It's going to get late, and people doing it. And for me, I know there are Africans that come here. When they come, it's very hard for them. But for me, COVID was a big game change for me. I started going, and I spent almost 85% of my time in Africa. It was in 2024 when I was in Abidjan for African Cup of Nations. I left from Abidjan. I came to Nairobi. Nairobi was my first time in East Africa, and I know since then it been a game change for me. So
Let
I'm
me ask
not.
you a question.
Yes.
No, don't interrupt him, brother. Let's get on so we can all
Yeah,
make our
because we got other people on the panel. City, you got 30 seconds. I got to pass the mic.
Yeah, so yeah, he get a question from me. Just let me answer his question.
Well, no. I want to pass the mic. We could circle back and he can ask. Go ahead, City. You got 30 seconds.
Okay, so my reason of saying that you can't say that all these 54 countries should have infrastructure before you move. You have to choose a place where you think the system works. Botswana works, Namibia is there, Kenya is there. It doesn't have to be West Africa alone. You got to go to a place where you think that this system works. Then you can penetrate the system. For now, I'll remain there.
Okay.
Go ahead, Louis.
Yeah. All right, Dan, it's a very good subject there. Listen, the mind of a coon is a fascinating one because if you plug into it, you're not careful, you're going to get sucked in from the pond into the ocean of the racist white man. Okay? Coons are the biggest Achilles heels of the black man. You find one person who want to get free, there'll be 10 Negroes who have no interest. 6 of them want to kill you. When independence was declared from the 1950s, Kwame Nkrumah didn't stand there looking at what happened in Liberia and told you it was going to be easy. Okay? As a kid growing up in the 1970s, I was walking barefoot to school, so were 90% of the people. Kwame Nkrumah, up until a certain age, walked barefoot to school. My uncle became one of the richest families in Africa right now. Here's a picture of him at the age of 16 wearing barefoot. We literally just came out of the Guyana Santua wars against the English. The airport that we are calling Kotoka Airport, everybody's raving about today. Back then, it was an old British military parachute jumping place. Today, now look at it.
Let us stop looking at where we haven't got to yet and start putting off our people by making excuses. Okay? True freedom is the ability for you to determine what your future is going to be like. There wasn't a single paved road in Ghana when the British left. Not one. But we look at what they've got today and the advantages they got, and we forget what they've done to us, where we've been through, and we start putting ourselves down. I used to walk to Supong in my mom's village to fetch water every morning. If you didn't do that, you get some lick on your back. Today, we got pumping water everywhere. I'm building a mansion in that same village, a mansion I could never afford in England or America, and it's going to have running water and everything. When I started, there was no electricity running through. By the time I got to the rooftop, electricity running through. Let us not be harsh on ourselves. We're making a hell of a lot of progress. A hell of a lot of progress. And if you can't go back to Africa now, you was never supposed to go back to Africa. Because we remember at a time when there was no electricity. Until Kwame Nkrumah built the water dam, no electricity. So what the hell are we talking about? There is a lot of progress in Africa. So do not let us walk 10 foot backwards because of what some coon wants to say. Death to the coon. They always want to hold you back. We can't go back. We can only go forward. Okay? And Africa will progress if we make it progress. Now, for the brothers and sisters who already joined us, we know the struggle that's happening there in the West. Because some of us come here in the West, and it's hard for us to go back. Okay? But the new generation, there's a new spirit. It's like a corn being rotten. You put it in the ground and new corn comes up. So as the coons rise, new warriors are going to rise up. And we have to feed those. Forget the negative. Feed those. Look forward. Africa is rising, is moving forward. Once you live in the village, you see someone running water, you're going to want that running water. That's what's happening in Africa. It started with the independent movement, and it's going forward, and it's going forward, and it's going forward. Those who don't want to join us, stay in the West and be a slave to the white man, even if you got more money. You may have the cash, as brother Stevie Wonder said, but you cannot cash in your face in this damn Western world. So you want to be a coon? Be a coon. I'd rather be free doing slow farming with my sickle in a village any day than freezing in this cold, bloody winter. So to hell with the coon. Forward ever, backwards never. And I'll rest my case.
All right, go ahead, Kofi. And then me can ask your question to CD.
You gotta rise. You gotta rise up. Rise up. What up, everyone? Yeah. I believe the guy kind of the guy came to Ghana, went to Tanzania, and he didn't really do his research, right? He could have gone to Ghana and he could have visited all the big diaspora community that's there. He could have contacted Craig with Rabbi Cohen, and he could have went into Tanzania, and he could have located Pete O'Neill, of ex-Black Panther, well, former Black Panther, who has a huge hospital facility in Tanzania. And to like pick at little stuff like, oh, you don't know the language. Well, the majority of the expats that live there are 50 and older. Their brains really can't pick up language that fast. And each country has about 4 to 8 different ethnic groups. They're trying to communicate with each other, and they definitely have to speak English. So you're just not going to grasp something that even the local people haven't grasped from each other. It's just not natural, right? When I went to Ghana, they had their apps, they had their language apps, and that's the best you can do, right? Speaking of Liberia had a head start on other different countries, right? They were formed in 1847. If there was this much slavery that people speak of, right? The Black expats or the Black Americans enslaved the indigenous people. If there was this much slavery, how come the infrastructure is subpar? If there was 200 years, let's say there was 200 years of grinding slavery, build this, build that, build this, industrialize that, all that would have been slavery. Then Liberia would be the equivalent to what the United States is today. But because the indigenous people were left to live sovereign inside their counties, that wasn't explored until President Tubman wanted to reach out to all those other counties and bring them more into government. Until the early 40s, everyone had the freedom to practice their traditional heritage. And that's like letting Black people practice hip hop heritage all day, right? We have to adapt, and we have to adapt to what the modern world is doing. Another thing, right? Another stereotype about the local people: the local people are just like Americans. They're just like Americans. They may speak two languages, but they're just like Americans. Sometimes even worse. They're just as capitalist as any American. So I don't see us going there and being a big influence on them. If anything, it's the other way around. You're gonna learn their behaviors, and you're gonna do as the Romans do in Rome. And that's all I have to say for now.
All right, Amiga, ask City your question.
All right, thank you. Also, after that, can I respond to the guy that said "death to the coons"?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, my question was, do you think, or do you want Black Americans to improve the infrastructure in Africa?
Oh, was that to me, brother?
No, the guy who I want to ask the question to earlier.
Oh, okay. I said
I'm not saying the Black Americans should improve the infrastructure. What I'm saying is that
Do you want it?
When people no, I'm not saying they should improve the infrastructure. What I'm saying is that, let's say, for example, right, if Africans see pressure coming from African American, they're traveling, they want to invest, they question things, they bring in a different mentality. What Carla say, yeah, it's a corruption mentality in a lot of African countries. But when they started having some sort of influence on the community, like going to the villages, talking to people, they're explaining issues, and they showing out corruption that is there. The government will get that pressure to develop the infrastructure. Individual African Americans do not have money to build African infrastructure. These are capital intensive projects, right? But by showing face, by coming with different mentality, by questioning things. Why is it that this village do not have running water? Why this guy is the governor of this city? What is he doing with the money? Questioning things, figuring out things, telling them what to do. That will put more pressure on that local government, and it will go up to the presidential level, and they will, and people will figure out how to face system. People
Hold on.
have
I ask
to
you a
have some sort of
simple
mentality
question.
to change people.
Hold on.
Right.
Simple question. Let me give you a compare and contrast. Do you want Russia to build a nuclear power plant, or do you want China to build roads? Like, do you want that?
We don't care who
I
builds
don't
it.
want that.
You don't want anybody to
want
come
that.
in and build anything. Who's gonna do it?
No, I'm not saying I don't want anybody
Africans are
to come
building,
and
brother.
build things.
Africans are
What
building.
I'm saying, it's not a matter of building things. It's a matter of how they fund the project, right? There where Africa is financing into trouble, right? For example, the
It's a yes or no
Chinese,
question. Yes or a no. Do you want us over there or not? Because
I want
when we
African
come over
Americans
there,
to be
that's what
over
we
there.
do. When we go places, we build things, we improve things. That's what we do. That's in
Well,
our nature, to build and improve infrastructure. We're not finna go over there and
I
have
don't
no
know about
running
that.
water.
I don't know. I don't know much about. I
You
don't know.
ain't finna
That's
have no
not what
black
we're
man
talking
go
about right
nowhere
now.
if they ain't got no running water. We're gonna have to build some plumbing and some infrastructure. But it's a yes or no
I don't
question.
know. I don't know. I don't know
Who
much
built
about that to
Liberia?
say individual African American building infrastructure. I'm not a
We
word
did
of
build
that.
infrastructure in
But
Yeah, we
Liberia.
did that build
what
Who
infrastructure.
built
But they
what
Liberia?
I
ran us
do
out of there.
know,
We built Liberia. We built like
no, what I
74
do know,
towers.
Liberia situation
Yes
was
or
very
no?
unfortunate. I wish Tobo would remain in power because it's the
Listen,
same CIA. Let me
yes or
finish.
no.
Yes on who, no on what?
Do you want Black Americans to build the infrastructure in Africa or Liberia or whatever? Do you want it? Yes or no?
They were building the infrastructure already when the CIA came and disrupt everything and put the
It's a
native,
yes or no question. No
electric guy
or
into
yes.
power.
Just
Brother,
answer the
brother,
question.
Brother, he
I just said
essentially just
yes.
said yes when he answered that question. When he
Yeah,
said
yeah,
they weren't doing it
guys.
already.
We got a new person on the panel. Let me the man in the high castle. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Good evening. Good evening.
oh my
Rise
God,
and
Tyler,
shine,
be
proud
quick.
Americans.
Hey, let him cook. Let him cook. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Good evening. Good evening. Rise and shine, brothers and sisters around the planet. Rise and shine, Earthlings. Wake up, proud Americans. It's the man in the high castle, and I've tuned in to search for Yuruhu television. Hit the like button and subscribe. One thing I can say tonight. One thing I can say tonight is that
it's Uhuru.
One thing I can say tonight is that people seem to be upset of what's going on. Do you know what the strongest currency there is in Africa right now? Can anybody on the panel just take a guess right now?
Probably the CD.
No, that's one of them, though. The strongest, number one.
CFA.
Wrong.
I would say CF. I would say CFA. I would say CFA.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. It's the Tanzanian dollar or dinara.
The who?
Who?
The Tanzanian.
Tanzania has shilling. They have shilling. They don't have
No, not Tanzania. Tunisia.
Tunisia.
Bro, yeah, that would be
money
making
is,
quote unquote Americans look
CFA
bad,
is
bro.
stronger than that. CFA
You
is
can't even
stronger than
pronounce the
that.
country.
So tell me, how is that possible?
Man, shut up, bro.
What are
How
they
you gonna
doing
integrate
differently?
the whole American because of one person?
What are they doing differently?
Currencies go up and down all the time, my friend. That ain't nothing. That's no indicator. They
That's
go
not
up
an
and down
indicator.
all the time, my brother.
Bro, let him get his thoughts out. Stop interrupting him.
You said the CD.
No,
Now,
I
how
said
much is
CD.
how much is a CD to a US dollar?
One USD to 11 CDs. I just sent money today.
Right. That's the last 3 days I take it.
So is that pretty good so far?
No, we had it at $6 one time.
I've seen it at $4.
Well, there you go. So the currencies don't really mean much.
So
All we
tell
gotta do
me.
is put a couple of gold in
So
there.
so
We're all
tell
right.
me what's happening with the CD, since you were talking so good about Ghana.
I tell you why it goes up and down. It's according to how much gold you got or whatever you got back in your currency. That's all it is. We're spending money building our roads. So when we do a big road project, like some of the ones we're doing now, and the ones that are about to come between Accra and Kumasi, it requires a certain amount of £billion set aside so we can do the project uninterrupted. When we do that, it depletes our national the amount we got in the bank. Okay, that means we got to take gold, convert it into dollars, and then start the project to guarantee the all the people doing the road work that they're gonna get paid. Okay, that means our currency goes down until we build it up again, and that's how it's gonna be until we put the roof on the house.
If I hear one more person in the live chat say North Africa, just say Africa. Cut that bullshit out. You'll never
if the
win.
United States didn't steal Maduro,
So-
we would be in trouble. The US dollar would fall. If we didn't
Done
steal
it.
that man, it'll be a wrap.
The United States doesn't need Africa. Africa needs.
He wasn't stolen. He was detained.
Well,
let him get his thought out so he can
Let's
stop
talk about
talking.
the economics, the dollar. Everybody knows that there's fine women all throughout the planet Earth. Let's talk about this damn money. What's going on in Africa with the damn money?
The money goes up and down all the time. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about
Hey, Dinus,
like you.
can I respond to the guy that said death to the coons?
Yeah, that's me.
The coons is the one who had money out that
You
way.
are the coon. Coon
I
are
want to
sent by the
respond
white
to
man
that.
to interact and complete our progress. Even on the YouTube. You're lucky
But
that
can I
is
respond to that, Mr.
Because I
Host?
love my roots, because I love my history,
coon.
because I
What
love my
defines a
motherland, the
coon?
United States of
No,
America.
you're a coon. You're here to stop us going to Africa. And guess what? You can't stop it, bruh.
But the
I
question is,
2026.
want
what
y'all to go
defines
to
a coon?
Africa. I want y'all to go back to Africa and never come back.
Good. Then pay reparation to black people. Tell your white master that, you bastard, so we can go back quicker.
Hey, whoa! I didn't say nothing. Now you're shooting at
Hey,
me.
at the end of the day,
I don't have no
you can
problem
leave
with you
you can
being
leave him a
here,
voicemail.
as long as you do
Hey,
good
go
business.
run to the white man and tell that.
Say, father, daddy, white man,
Yeah, go and do
please
that.
help
Hold
you.
on, bro.
That's
Do
what you
you
can
not
say.
realize that in responding to him, you're offending me?
This is like,
And I don't have no problem with you being in America.
Man, you cry too much. You
this
empathetic.
is
Everybody
No,
shits
I'm
on you, Will.
conversation.
Hey,
Will, you're not even
hold on.
really American. You're
Hold on,
not
M.
American, Will.
Hold on, man. High Castle. M, go ahead and ask your question, M. You respond
Okay,
to,
now you say death to the coons, and you just said after 1 out of every 10, something about there's always going to be a coon that come around to stop. Like I have several comments about this. Why would you be so quick to just dehumanize a black person and reduce them to coon for one, and then another? Hold on, let me finish it. Then I ain't gonna say nothing. And another thing, you talked about how you walk with no shoes on to get water, and you had no shoes on,
Yep,
and then
I
Kwame
created
Nkrumah.
mine. I
Okay,
created
now,
mine.
now, did you know that Booker T. Washington, when he was a slave, had to walk around naked until he was free, just with a shirt on, and he was able to build Tuskegee Institute, and he say something about forget the West, right? The West, F y'all. But didn't Kwame Nkrumah have to come to the West in order to improve Africa? You say Kwame Nkrumah was the one who was responsible for electricity, and things. When the British left, there was no paved roads, so he was instrumental into the infrastructure. But first, he had to come to us. So how you gonna say death to coons? Like,
What do
why
that
would you
got to
even
do with what he's
call us
talking about,
coons?
man? Y'all try to turn this into something it gotta be, bro. Y'all destroy these
That's what he said
conversations.
earlier. He said
Y'all
the
destroy these
coons.
conversations, man.
How did Nkrumah get the money to study at Lincoln University?
Let me sort him out. Let me sort
Your
him out.
black Americans
How did
just the
how did
coons?
Nkrumah
Is that
get
what
the
it
money
was?
to study at Lincoln
the guy asked that
University
question.
and get his graduates?
Let me answer him. He asked a question. Let me answer him.
Who
Okay.
paid him to get his way
Who
to the
came
United
there first? Did
States?
the white man come to the black man, or the black man go to the white man?
Did you sell us to the white man?
Did the black man go to the white man?
Kwame Nkrumah was
Or
CIA.
the European come to the black man in
You know
Africa?
that.
Mister, I don't waste your time, man. I don't know why they should going after you. You give your point, bro. This is not about attacking this guy. He didn't say anything
I'm saying
wrong.
the point I'm trying to make
No,
is
just
we
make
should
your
stop.
point. What is your
We should stop.
what is your opinion on what the topic is about? Instead, you
They
go
want to
after
turn this
Bob.
into some American exceptionalism conversation. They do it every time. He didn't say nothing to no source, slighted no Americans. He said coons. He didn't say African coons. He didn't say American coons. He didn't say
He didn't
Haitian
say
coons or
coon to
Jamaican coons.
American. He didn't say coon to
He
anybody.
just
was
said
just using his
coons,
word.
man.
Come
What I'm
on,
saying
stop.
is when he talked about the white man who had like he's rich white man in the middle of nowhere doing good. You don't objectify him to just a slur. You didn't call him cracker.
No, he
But when
did
it
not
comes to
say
black
coon
people,
to
y'all
anybody.
quick to call us all types of names like we ain't worthy of no type of humanity. We
No,
just
he did not
coons
say
and
coon
whatever.
to anybody.
What are
He did
you
not say
talking
African
about?
American. Nobody.
When
He
y'all
just
talk
said
about that
Mr. Charlie
Lebanese,
to
he
tuck him
gets
in
to
at
be
night.
respected as
Pinch
a
his
human
nipples.
being.
Nah. It was a general statement. He made a statement to everybody, not African American,
So he's talking about the
African.
white man as a
That's how
coon.
you guys divide people. Don't
Bro,
do that,
he's
bro.
saying he's
Don't.
talking about people that are going against the interests of the people.
Yeah,
He's
that's
not
what he said.
he wasn't
But
praising no It wasn't no slight towards no Lebanese.
But
What he's saying is
That's why I said
listen. What is the derogatory term for white man?
The Lebanese you're talking about does not complain
What is the derogatory terminology that you use to describe white
it's not the same thing though. That's
Okay,
first of all, everything that he said, everything that he said was speaking against white men.
You're waiting for the place to be like America. That's the problem. The Lebanese don't complain about that.
Exactly.
You're defending the Lebanese, but you're talking down about us. And we the one who gave Kwame Nkrumah his education.
You just want to hand out from the white man. Those of us who want to work hard, don't put us off from going. Stay in America if you want to. We're going.
Yeah.
What is y'all's purpose in engaging in these conversations? Literally every conversation y'all turn this into what the Americans have done.
They broke.
I get my education in America. Did I get it free? Did I get my education in America free? Nothing is free here.
And nobody on this. Well, I can't speak of everybody, but coons need to be castigated regardless, whether you call it dehumanization or not. They need to be. They need to be taken out the way.
Are y'all the ones who are African coons?
What's the difference between a Pan-African and a coon?
A lot,
of course.
Yes. A lot of our people are coons.
The ones who come here and talk about they're doing better than us, and they're
now you see, this is why you've been trying to say. You are very divisive guy, man. You are very
that's what, bro. Y'all deter these conversations, bro. Y'all's presence, you just derail them every time, bro. Y'all bring nothing of any substance.
Y'all gotta stop calling us these derogatory names.
No, he did not.
Nobody just said specifically y'all. That's what I'm saying, bro. Y'all emotionalize and personalize everything. He wasn't just talking about Americans. He's talking about black coons in general. That's your opinion. That's your opinion. Nobody's gonna adhere to that,
first of all, he did not even prefer white men. He spoke against the white people.
When you just generalize and say coons, you can just apply that to anybody. Oh, a black man, he's a coon.
There's specific behaviors that you have to achieve and specific things that you have done that you're going to get that label. Nobody's going to stop calling coons, man.
That's true.
It is what it is.
4 million Africans in America right now could get that moniker. 4 million.
And they would fit the moniker, brother. They would fit the moniker. Nobody's going to stop calling them that. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. That's y'all don't interact with quote unquote real Pan Africans.
I don't understand. Like this guy, he's very divisive. Since he came, he been very
divisive. Bro. No, nobody said that. He's making it that because that's his whole angle in the conversation. Exactly. Is to make this some dichotomy of black Americans versus everybody else with this American exceptionalism.
I ain't said nothing about black Americans other than we was the ones who gave Kwame Nkrumah his education. That's it.
It has nothing to do with nothing that anybody said. Nobody said nothing bad in regards to quote unquote African Americans.
Coon say I.
Look. The guy said the white man in Ghana or wherever he is in the middle of nowhere.
Y'all don't even have an African dollar.
No, he did not say that. He did not say that. No,
you don't call the Lebanese nothing dirty. You don't call the Chinese a dirty name. But when it comes to us, you just get a coon, nigga, this and that.
But you see, you are very divisive. He did not say anything like that.
That point is not
That's not true.
With the European
Why
man.
is the Lebanese, who's not even black, able to go?
They love spooning with the Lebanese man. They let the Lebanese man twist their tip.
But you're
that's true.
They booty clapping for the Lebanese man.
Well, nobody's
see potential, see money, and don't complain about lack of infrastructure and still make money. Why come they can do that? You ain't doing that, and then you complain on top of that.
Complain on everything.
You think you living good in Europe and America because you're working for a sandcracker at the liquor store.
I'm living good in
That's how you look at it. You think you're doing exceptionally well.
And we fund them same quote unquote sandcrackers every day
because you let the Arab.
We let them drive in our neighborhood. So what do we? It's the same stuff.
As my brothers from America,
they were dealing with the same levels of oppression we were dealing with.
Okay, if you're deals with the white man, you're not. You ain't gonna worry about
that.
Facts.
I think we deserve more respect.
Pan-African is the biggest cook in the world.
Everybody respect African American. Nobody disrespecting African American. That's not true. That's not true. Ghana being very friendly with you guys. They open their door. They give you a citizenship, and you're still complaining.
Complain about what? What I'm complaining about?
When you fail, then you complain.
China man, Ghanaians are out there.
Quick question. to what fuels his argument and makes him make the claims he makes. Is it fair to say, right, that when it comes to the Africans we receive here in America, they aren't always good representations of the African community? I would even go further to say, you know, we get a lot of coons coming in.
Right.
And I'm saying they don't necessarily speak for the people of Africa, right?
Thank
But
you.
Then why are you
they're
booty
westernized.
clapping for them when you know that's the case?
I mean,
Brother,
I know
majority. If we being honest, bro, if we being 100% honest, regardless of country, nation, border, bro, majority of our people work against our interests. So they could be deemed as majority of black people are not working towards the interests of black people collectively. It's just the case.
Nah,
So
you talking for
whatever
yourself.
population,
Africans are the
whatever
biggest
demographic of population you look at, that's the case.
And I'm gonna
Hey, I would say this
They
though.
got
I would say this
all
though.
agree with
types of
that
love
is
for everybody
even in
else.
many cases where we are working against our best interests, a lot of black people aren't doing that necessarily knowingly. They're doing it to survive, right? There are some coons that are doing it to take advantage. I agree.
Just
Right?
you.
We
Hold on.
know.
Let me say this though. Let me say this in
Real
response
quick.
to what the guy said.
Just let me
Go
land
ahead.
real quick. Let me land. Right? We know the what's the dude in the Supreme Court, right?
Clarence Thomas.
We know the Clarence Thomas exists. I'm sure the African brothers can talk about coons on the continent, right? We know that exists. But when you say most blacks,
What
right?
Clarence Thomas is Malcolm X compared to those people in Africa. You see them in their parliaments wearing those white wigs.
That's insanity,
Clarence Thomas
brother.
would never. Still to
never
this
saw
day,
Thomas
up in
Sankara
African
wear a
parliament,
wig.
they wearing white wigs.
He don't need a white wig. He got a white wife.
I never saw
I'm talking about them people in parliament in Africa. They wearing all types of white wigs. They
Clarence Thomas don't need a white wig. He got a white wife.
Hey, let me respond to
some of y'all Africans look at that as success.
No, let's get a word in.
You look at that as success. Those are goals to y'all Africans over there.
Look, let me respond to this guy real quick.
Y'all wish you were Clarence
So a white
Thomas.
wife is success? Is that what you were saying, bro?
Airport, if you go
That's
to
how
Ghana,
those Africans look at it.
International Airport, if you
That's
go to
how those
Ghana
Caribbeans
International
look at it.
Airport,
They
if you
think
go
that's
to Ghana
success.
That's how them Americans look at it.
It's a man
Nah, we
called
definitely
Koto
don't.
Ghana.
Hey, can I respond to the guy real quick?
Right?
Just listen up for a minute. You jumping in.
Can I respond to the guy real quick?
No, you can't, because
Go
you
ahead,
coons are
family.
interrupting us too much here. It's a
All right,
Pan-African
so
show, all right?
as
Okay,
far
you
as
choose
as
about
far as
No,
hold on,
just
as far as
listen,
the
let me
Africans
make
that
it
come
clear,
to
because
America,
it's not a one-way conversation
Hold
here.
on, bro. Let
All
him
right?
let him
You're
respond
talking
real quick.
about
You got the
blacks who
floor next.
educated, blacks wearing wigs.
Man, you open your mouth too much. Here's 10 bags of rice.
Let him respond. You got the floor
And we
next,
call
bro.
them out. In Ghana, there's an international airport called Kotoka Airport. Okay? That was the bastard who overthrew Kwame Nkrumah and set up the first CIA-operated bloody coup against our first leader that we've never recovered from. Okay? It's only this week they voted in Parliament to have his name taken out.
And they got white wigs.
Despite everybody agreeing outside of Africa that man should never be honored with an international airport, even ahead of our first leader whom we overthrew. Okay, despite that, we had black people, okay, in Ghana arguing that we should keep that damn name.
Black Americans?
Okay? That's how deep the cooning goes.
You're saying black Americans?
No, he's talking about people that are from Ghana, indigenous to Ghana.
We know, according to South African ANC freedom fighter, okay, Steve Biko, he said the most powerful weapon in the hands of the
Let him
enemy
die.
is the
Yo, let
mind
him
of
get the brakes beat off of him, Steve Biko.
Okay?
Y'all didn't help him.
The white man has your mind. That's the problem.
He's not here to. That's why I don't know why he comes on here, man. Like, what is your purpose of coming on? Everything you do is to derail the
y'all
conversation.
talking about stuff from the 1980s.
Okay, so what is your purpose? What is your purpose of contribution to the conversation? What is your end game? Why do you engage in these conversations? What is your purpose?
I like when the FBA brothers come over, because it is an
hey, look, let me respond to the guy real quick.
It's not these conversations derail every time to the same stuff, regardless of the topic.
Let me get 1 minute to
45
talk
years
real
later,
quick.
who is the new Steve Biko?
When you go after Mr. I, he said coon in general. He didn't say African American. He didn't say African. He's making an example of African coon right now. So stop being divisive, guys. Stop doing that. He did not say African
Steve
American.
Biko was ahead of his time. But y'all let him get
Daniel Coon
the brakes
did
beat off
not
of
want
him.
him to
Y'all
for
didn't
Congress,
revenge
allowing him to
him.
be
You didn't
removed.
protect
He
him.
just said it.
You said
Where's
that
the
What if they said the
yesterday.
same thing
people?
You
about
said that
Malcolm, my
yesterday,
brother?
man.
Hold on. What if they said the same thing about Malcolm? That we did that
Hey,
to
can
him?
I say something? Can I say something real quick
Hold
without
on.
people just
2
talk,
seconds, bro.
millions of people talking?
2
All right,
Yeah,
what
seconds.
I
well,
wanted
like
to
I
say
said,
when
you
the
could
guy
say the same thing about Malcolm.
when the guy say the Africans come to America, I don't agree with them being coons because I don't
Let them.
encounter. I live in Chicago, right? We have like different types of Africans here. We have the
Right.
Senegalese. They
Right.
live right next to us, and they don't show their flag. You will never know they Senegalese unless you ask them. You got the Muslim Nigerians. They live right next to us. But it's some Africans like the Igbo or whatever. They go to the north side. They intentionally don't be around us. So we have like very pleasant, nice, respectful Africans who just you won't even know they Africans. And you got some that throw it in your face and say we sold you, like the Igbo or whoever said we y'all and we are. But I think we don't really we try to figure out what's going on. We ain't finna just call nobody no coon, like denigrate a person and just label them just to say they less than. But it seems as though when I listen to these conversations and I listen to
Man, I
the Africans,
wish a brother would.
Hold on, let him finish.
I'm saying what they do is they call a white person or an Arab by their nationality, but they'll denigrate each other in a second. You a coon, you a this. Like we don't even like. Do you see how dangerous that is when we start dehumanizing each other with our
But
language?
this the problem, bro.
It's
Yeah, but my brother,
behavior.
that
It's about
doesn't
Hold
mean
on,
that
hold
behavior,
on. Let me
man.
this guy
respond to
You
who's
the
speaking
brother,
to you
right?
confused,
right
bro.
now, he's
Here's
not
the
he's not
Get off
reality.
the
Nigerian.
panel, bro.
Whether
You
you're
He's
talking about
confused.
the
Ghanaian.
continent or whether you're talking about America, right? A coon's a coon, right?
Yeah,
A
Thank you.
sellout
fine.
is a
It's
sellout.
a white man
The
a coon.
dude that the dude that
No,
killed
he's a white
Thomas
man.
Sankora, right? I can't
They
remember
got
his
their
name
own
right now.
coons.
Coon, right? At the same time, Candace Owens, right? Like certain people in the
Mm,
black community, coon, right? So a coon's a coon's a coon. It
intelligent.
don't
Yep,
matter whether it's from
Yeah.
the continent.
Intelligent coons are the dangerous coons.
exactly. Fat. So this guy is not saying. First of all, you saying that Nigerians. How do you know that they are Igbo? But even if they are Igbo,
Because
this
they
guy is
tell you.
Ghanaian. This guy is
They
Ghanaian.
tell
He's
you.
not Igbo.
Hey, bro,
So
I'm
with the
talking about.
dreads.
he
I'm
With the
just
just saying,
dreads.
says,
like some Africans
Bro
will
with the
tell you they
locks.
Igbo and we sold you into slavery and this
but
and that. They'll tell you
but
this.
but
Yeah,
no
you know
matter
why?
I'm
what,
You know
I'm
why
even
from
they say
from
I'm
that,
from
bad
right?
Chicago
people,
too,
even
bro.
if I certain people that are
One of my
very
main
bad,
homies is Debo,
you
bro.
know,
Brother,
do you
brother,
think
They'll
everybody
tell
gonna
you.
be nice to
Look.
you?
They'll tell you they not black. They'll tell you they not
let
Bro,
me
black.
come on.
that's annotal. That's
Yeah,
anecdotal, brother. I
let
don't
me
Right.
have
let
that
me
It's
come on
experience.
with
his
the
I'm from
brother. Hold on,
Chicago.
problem.
him.
We
Hold
don't just
on.
call them coons though.
What I'm
We don't
doing
just
in
make
this whole
names for them too.
If
conversation,
any
what I'm
black
doing in
person
this whole
that's bragging about
conversation
slavery
between
is a
black
coon, so you
people
should call them that.
is mirroring, right? So
But
you have black
how come they
Americans
don't
that will
got
tell
words
you,
for white people? The
I'm
ones
not
who
connected
put
to
them in
Africa, right?
colonialism, and why don't they call them a derogatory word?
That's
Why don't they
our
call white
term though.
people
Exactly.
these
You're
derogatory
not gonna
words?
usually hear no if you're not gonna hear
Let's
no
go.
continental African that ain't been around people in the diaspora or really just African Americans calling
First
nobody
of all,
no coon, man.
that's our word.
That's
Coon
our
is our
term.
word.
What
Correct.
about a kata?
I've
Bro, what are you?
never,
That has nothing to do with
I've
that.
been
A
around
kata is
Africans
a
all
wild
my
cat,
life.
man.
I've
It don't
never
have
been
Why
nothing to
are you
do
called
with
making
an
an
nothing.
excuse?
That's
Akata.
not
Why are you making
no
I've been
term
excuses?
meaning no
called a
coon.
beach ass
Why are
N-word,
you making
right? I
excuses?
don't want to get the
It's
tariff
not no
credit.
excuse
I've been
because
called a beach
that's a non
ass
sequitur. It's
Negro.
not the
Hold
same
on.
thing.
They
Hold
A
on.
gotta
kata
learn
is
how to
not
respect us.
the
Hold
African
on.
version of a
I'm
coon,
Hey,
from New
brother.
proud
York City,
Americans, you see
right?
how disturbed this panel
Hold on.
is?
I'm from New York
You
City,
gotta
right?
learn how
I've
to
been around
respect us
Africans
first.
all my
That's the
life.
first step.
I've never once been called an Akata. Now I've
Thank
been
you.
called a beach ass Negro, right? And I
What?
probably was acting like one at the time, right? But this whole claim that Africans are coming over here calling us Akata, I gotta be honest, I've never seen it, right? And
It's
I've
made up
always
rubbish.
been in
It's
close
made up rubbish.
proximity with
Did they
Africans
tell you they not black?
in America.
Did they tell you
No,
they
brother.
sold you to slavery?
Okay, brother, can I tell you a
Let
little
him
story?
That's
The
finish,
your
brother
bro.
with the
anecdotal
locks.
experience, man.
Listen, let me speak to the brother with the locks just for 2 seconds, okay? The brother with the locks, listen to me. It's about 4 years ago. I'm going from Barking, which is East London, to South London. I get on a train. I meet a nice Nigerian brother. We start talking. And in that conversation, he said something I'll never forget.
Give us some
He said to me, "Yeah, but I told him I'm from Ghana." And then he goes, "Oh," he looked at me and said, "Yeah, but Ghanaians are really black." Okay, this is a Nigerian brother. He looked at me and told me Ghanaians are really black. So I looked at him and I was shocked, and I went to, well, we're the Black Stars for a reason. Okay, and if we Africans can't be black, who can be black? I couldn't believe that conversation. I was just flabbergasted right through the train ride. I think I even got off a train extra early just so I don't have to be in the same carriage as that guy. Okay, some of our people are messed up in their head.
Africans
So
love
give me
their
a
master.
second and let me talk to you, brother, right? Because you just made a valid point, right? Here's what I would tell you. Right? In America, black means more than just a racial identification. For us,
No, we
right?
understand
Hold on,
that.
hear what I'm saying. Just hear me first, right? And then I'm gonna listen to everything you have to say. But for us, being black is our Igbo. It is our Hausa. It is our Fulani here, right? So there is a legitimate argument if some black Americans are saying this is not really your identification. Like I always argue, there's really no African or black on the continent, right?
Right.
There's no Africans. You have Igbos, you have Fulani, you have Mosi, you have Hausa, right? Like,
yeah, but we all
so
know
for
we're black
us,
people. We all know we're black people.
No, you don't. No, y'all don't.
Nah,
Y'all
you
don't
know
even
what
call
I'm
each
saying.
other
You gotta tell us
Africans on
what
the
we know. Have you
continent.
been to Africa, you dumbass?
Hold on.
If you didn't
Y'all
fly,
don't
you
even
come
call
with
each other
Talk to
Africans
me,
on the
bro.
continent.
Look,
You know that.
Talk
the
to me, bro.
Senegalese are the best Africans because they don't show it. They don't throw it in your face. They treat you with
Right.
respect.
You know why?
That's based on your anecdotal
You know
experience,
why?
man.
It's
You know
true.
why? Because
It's
I
you
can
true.
went
give you a
to
place in Harlem,
Like
right?
this is retarded.
From
These conversations
but
116th
such.
Street in
You
Harlem.
know why he's
I
saying
think
that?
Senegalese
You know why he's
are the
saying
best
that?
116th
Because he
St.
got
Africans.
some
Nicholas
for the
Avenue all
coochie.
the way
That's
down
what.
But then let me
to
let me tell let me
116th
tell
you
let me
Ave.
speak to this brother.
That
He
is
talking about
known
Nigeria.
as Little
Let me talk to
Senegal,
him. Let
The
me
right?
talk to him about
Senegalese
the
are more
Nigerian.
That's
educated.
known as Little Senegal. They are proud. They do let you know who they are and that these are Senegalese businesses. So no, and I don't have a problem with them being
I ain't
proud of
never
who
seen
they
the
are.
Senegalese flag in my life, and they
Okay,
live
but
right
let
down
me
the
tell
street.
you, let me tell you this about the Nigerian. You complain about the Nigerian, right? Let me tell you one thing. African behave different. Nigerian in general, they are very, very aggressive, right? You will see them, they are very friendly people. They are more African than anybody else, but they seems to be very,
They're
very
more
aggressive,
arrogant.
right? Arrogant. So you will think of that word they are being somehow racist again, even toward the other African. When I see Nigerian,
They're
I can
second
tell
to
this is Nigerian,
Somalis
right?
when it comes to the most
Nigerians
problematic
don't
Right,
have
people
any
but
on the
to
Pan
say
planet.
African
Igbo man
mentality.
will tell you say that he's not African, you the first person I ever heard that from. Nigerian will never tell you that he's not African, but they are very, very arrogant and aggressive. But that doesn't mean necessarily that they will say they are not African.
So
That's
allow
not
me to
true.
make my point, right? What I'm saying is what they take pride in and what they identify with, even here in America, is their tribe, right? It's the tribalism that they identify with, right? This blanket term of an African makes the false dichotomy that this is one united group. It is not. You have the Fula, you have the Moist, you have the, you know what I mean? There's all these different groups. And even in America, they don't even all rock with each other, right?
Yeah.
So
Do the white
But
people always
Yeah,
agree?
but
because in
these are
Nigeria they're very
this is stuff.
tribal.
But anybody that's a Pan Africanist already knows this stuff. That's why I don't
that's
understand why we
correct.
keep having these
Nah,
same
you right.
rudimentary conversations, and it always devolves into this.
Look, you gotta have a solution to change the dynamic of people's mindset. You
I agree
want the
with that
status
as
quo to
well.
continue. These people gotta stop disrespecting us. If you want progress,
Listen,
first of all, don't call me out my
Hold on.
name.
Let him make his
That's
point.
number one.
Hold on. Let
brother,
him
Don't
make the point
disrespect
because I
us.
brother
agree.
M, brother M.
Unfortunately, the
Brother,
friction
And
will
then you can
always be
Brother
there.
M, let me make
this
my
is
point.
not no Pan. That's what I'm saying. This does not happen in Pan African circles,
it
man.
is, bro.
That's
Just
how I
let
know
him.
y'all not serious for
Well,
real.
maybe it
Yeah.
needs to
Pan
happen.
Brother
Africans
M,
need to
listen,
start
listen.
having some type of
Brother,
respect for themselves
brother
and don't
M,
let
brother
nobody.
M,
Hey,
You ain't
time's
No,
up.
you need to
disrespecting.
know
Trump
what you're
signed that
talking about because you
executive
brother
don't know
M,
order.
what you're
It's
listen.
talking
over with.
about.
Brother
Not
M,
All right,
listen.
everyone
let
is
me
a
It's
Pan
Listen.
respond to
over
the
with.
brother,
Africanist.
right? Because I see where he was going and he was making a
Right, brother
valid
M,
point.
Trump
Here's the
brother
signed
M.
that
reality.
I think
executive
you,
You
order.
are
It's
Here's the
over
dumb.
with.
reality when it comes
Bunch
to
of
brother M,
Black
idiots,
listen,
man.
Americans
listen.
and Pan
I think you
Africanism,
went
right?
wrong checking it to a
When it comes
Nigerian,
to
and he gave
Black
it to you as good as
Americans
you gave it
and
to
Pan
him. And that's
Africanism,
what you can't accept.
we
You want
had
an
a
African to
Y'all
shut up
never gonna
and
be
be
able to
quiet and take all
crowbar
the abuse.
yourself and to try to
They ain't
destiny
taking no
swap us
abuse.
again.
So you need to accept
allow me
that.
to respond to
Okay?
you when he's
Some of us
done.
fight back.
We're gonna let him get it out.
Y'all never
All
gonna
right.
try to
All right, so boom.
gaslight us and
But
make us
wait.
ashamed of being American ever again.
Why are you on here?
But bro,
Mr.
that's
American,
never
Captain
been
Trump
the
America.
goal.
signing that executive
Why are
order.
you on here?
It's over for
Captain
y'all.
America.
Look, we
Y'all
have
can
done
never
so
ever
much.
in your life, once again, y'all never again, y'all Africans will never again, your Caribbeans will never again be able to say, y'all don't even know your history. You don't know where you come
Yes,
from.
we can. Yes, we
Y'all will
can. We can
never
say
again.
anytime we like.
Y'all be hanging from your necks.
We can
Yeah,
say
well,
that
yeah.
more
Yeah,
than
who
ever
did
before.
that?
Man,
Watch what
please ignore
happens.
him,
Yeah, who
man.
Watch
did
what
that?
Dude,
happens in
just wants the
2026.
conversation to be centered around him. Dude got an
Y'all are
attention
claiming
deficit.
to
Watch
be
what
Indian.
happens in
We can say that
2026.
more than
Man,
ever
shut your
before.
mouth. And that's why you
Ignore
shouldn't say
There's
him,
a
nothing
lot
man.
about
of
him.
black
Just ignore
Americans
him,
who
bro.
claim to
Anytime
be
he talk
That's
Indian.
over
on
him.
FBA.
Yeah,
You
all
see,
right, whatever,
the
bro.
white man sent him, you see. The white man sent him
I
like he was
think
slavery. Don't go
Africans
send
should
him.
respect
Don't
Black
throw that boy.
Americans just like y'all respect the Lebanese, just like you respect the
Ayo, Prince
Chinese,
You have to
Lewis.
earn
just like you
respect.
Ayo,
respect
Prince
the
Y'all
You
Lewis.
have
never
to
gonna
Europeans.
be able
earn
to
respect.
say all
We
that
know
Prince
who
crazy
you
Lewis,
shit
I'm
no
respect,
more.
asking
African
you,
It's
right?
American
over
first.
with.
Can you
Okay?
Y'all
allow
need to
We
show
know
us
who
some type of
Ayo,
we
Prince
know who
respect.
Lewis.
respect you
Prince
because you
Lewis,
went
can you
disrespecting
allow
Africans and they put it on your neck.
Prince
Now
Lewis?
you're upset.
Prince Lewis,
Delineation is not
can you
separation.
allow
It's social
Pan-African
distancing
blacks
from
to
y'all
have this
tethers. That's it.
conversation on your behalf?
We
Because
social
I'm with you.
distancing
Go
from
ahead,
y'all.
brother.
I'm not gonna let nobody crash out, right? But can you allow us to connect on this conversation? Because it is an issue.
Dude, there's something wrong with dude, man, for real.
Nah, let him, he good. But
No,
to the
dude got a
whole,
problem, bro, psychologically. Something wrong with him.
nah, I mean, we all get charged, right, when it comes to this topic.
No, it's not about
God
charge.
bless
Dude
these
literally
nice
comes
Nah,
on
colored
here
guys
every
will
day saying
say
anytime he
no.
comes on the panel, literally saying the same thing. Literally.
oh, you talking about the FBA, homie? I
ISIS
get you.
Yeah.
doing the
I
Lord's
want to
work.
Black
Literally.
American here with that American flag.
Like
Go
it's
ahead.
it's a it's a
Bro,
it's a lot of
but
things you
bro,
could be doing with your town.
but bro, as a Pan-African, though, I look at these as opportunities, right? If we really believe in what we believe in, we should be willing and comfortable to have the conversation. This
Brother,
will
if
be
I was in a
easy
space with
work.
him, he'd be
If
choked
you
up
love
right now. I ain't
America
gonna lie
in
to
the
you.
chat, throw American flag or press a one. Where are my proud Americans at? I
Yeah,
know
When
I'm
you
that
not
choke
hell
up
with
a
that
white
alone
flag.
here.
man,
To
you
hell
was
with that
expecting a
flag.
Yeah.
white man when you choke a white man up.
That
If
flag is
you're a
covered in the
full
blood
blood
of white
He
You
is
men.
a
American
deserve
white
an
man.
aggression
To
for
hell with
black
that
That's the
people.
flag.
and you
thing.
love
They
America,
are an
put a
extension of
one in
what
the chat.
they
Hey, yo,
just
we
white
can't
people in
hear
blackface.
anybody.
Hey, who's
Nobody
the
can
name
be
of that
heard.
sister who just wore the red, black, and blue and green on the stadium the other day? What's her name? She wore
Her
red, black,
name
and
was
green.
Coco Jones. She's very
Oh man, she's
attractive.
beautiful. I want to marry her.
However, I
I
pray
want to
for
marry
her
her.
that she puts on red, white, and blue on.
So
I
Prince
want to
Lewis.
marry that woman.
So
That
Prince
sister is.
Lewis, understand, Prince Lewis, that was
My
a
name is
I hope
Coco
they paint her
Jones.
Pan-African,
well.
Prince Lewis, that was a
Thank you, brother. I feel your
Pan-African
spirit, Lord
statement
child.
this black woman was
God
making.
bless you as well.
So I want to be clear on that,
Go
only
on, go
because
ahead.
Prince Lewis, I don't want you to
Mhm.
be triggered by nothing
Okay.
this brother is saying. Understand, Coco
Mhm.
Jones is going on the biggest platform on earth and
Mhm.
hmm
being unapologetically
Yeah.
Pan-African while singing the African American national anthem, right?
Amen.
And she was straight
So
too. She
Amen.
smooched her husband like that.
don't
So
allow
yeah,
someone to trigger you to disrespect her effort and my effort,
Mhm.
right?
she
We
FBA.
we don't view you as the enemy. Now, yes,
No.
some of us do, right? And that's a conversation I'm trying to have with this brother, right? That's a conversation my good brother Nagola, right,
Ngolo, brother.
is trying to have with this brother, right? Many of us are still Pan-African in our hearts, but we are at a
hmm
weird
And in
point
action.
in America.
hmm
So
Ways and
Yeah.
actions. Yes, there are people who are of the lineage of FBA
Bro, shut up.
who are still
so
Pan
let him
African.
cook. Let him cook.
It's a
You could
powerful
keep
show.
on belly aching, but I'm not having that heart attack with you. I'm not tripping on you.
So
Bro,
here's the
because
problem, bro.
you
Don't
bring nothing
people
to the
in Clubhouse,
conversation.
they are
You
not
bring nothing to
educated.
the conversation
Hold on,
but derail it.
understand.
Coco
We
Those
Jones
haven't
is
even
people
a
that
addressed
very
the
you are
real
attractive
topic.
talking about
sister.
are not
Again,
FBA, right?
again,
We
This
don't
guy
Coco
is
identify
Jones
with
is
that
FBA.
a
little
very
club,
This
attractive
guy
right?
young
is
sister. She appears to be straight. She has
We're
a
actually
straight black
very
man with
offended
her.
Yeah.
that now the world is starting to view us
However,
as a part of your little club.
ideologically, she has some
I'm an
flaws, it
African American,
appears.
Yep.
right?
I
Well, let's
can't
go.
wait
We
till
can
she
work
puts
on it.
that red, white, and blue on.
We
She's
can
not
work on it.
going to, brother.
this
Oh,
guy
yeah,
is
she
classic you gonna put you in
look,
the
hey,
ring.
look, hey, look. I think it's really interesting. I think it's really interesting that the only person
the pulse of
that
this
got
situation.
respect in this whole life, the only person that got respect in his whole life was a white rich man and Lebanese man. we disrespect each other like it ain't nothing. It's crazy.
It didn't get any
Bro,
respect.
Who respected who respected the Lebanese?
The guy that talked about the Lebanese, he didn't call him no type of name.
It wasn't no respect. He just said the behavior that they demonstrate. He didn't say that they was good or nothing.
Nobody said that.
He didn't say no respect. No, they are parasites. That's facts. But all he's saying is they parasite and they didn't complain about it.
Yeah,
but he's not saying that it's good.
They should be described as their behavior, just like you say the coon behavior.
Yeah, but if he would have said parasites, you wouldn't have been knowing what he's referencing. No, who
I wasn't knowing exactly what he's talking about. But I ain't finna keep talking about it.
They're creating a classification called MENA, Middle Eastern North African, right? The reason why they're creating this classification is many people from the region you're talking about come over here and classify as white. Why are we even talking about them?
We're not worried about what happens in America. As long as they don't hurt black people, we're not worried about that.
Man, quit tripping. You don't care about yourself.
The man was saying how good the Lebanese, when it comes to Ghana, they do so well in business. He was talking good about the Lebanese, but when he talking about the black people, how great they doing or how great they are, but you never gonna say that about us.
He give example where he said no, he did not understand him.
You got nothing good to say about us.
No. He said the things that you guys need to do.
You sound hungry.
You guys
Here's some beef flour,
That's all
some
he said.
custard.
Look, do you have anything good to say about us? Is there anything good about us?
No, he did not say that, brother.
Name something good about us.
What does this have to do with the topic?
Let me something good about y'all. The African is the greatest businessman on planet Earth. He'll sell you anything. He'll sell you his slave family.
Let me explain myself.
You literally said this before on here.
He'll sell you anything.
You've literally said this before on here.
Ethics.
He said it.
The topic of this
we have a great time to have a dialogue. If
the topic of this video is somebody
go ahead. They shouldn't be uncomfortable having a clear conversation where you can make your point and respond to a point, right? When I hear all this chatter, I know people are running from the real conversations, and that's
why is Africans still selling slaves?
Well, shut your mouth.
$500.
The same reason why we in our community selling fentanyl to our own people. That's why.
Well said, man.
See how Pan-African sounds?
You know, slavery in America, right?
The conversation is about black people
This is how
going
they
to
kick the
Africa.
soccer ball back.
Wait. You know we still have slavery in America, right? You know, many
We're not
black
selling
men
slaves,
in America,
bro. We're not
under
selling
the
slaves. They
Constitution-
actually auctioning slaves.
No, you're not hearing what I'm saying.
Yeah. You know that.
I get your point, but what
I
I'm
get
saying
your point.
is,
You can buy a
realize
slave
there's
in
slavery
Africa.
here in America.
Figueroa Avenue is a slave market in LA. That's a slave market.
You think you
brother.
got a real homeboy, an ally out there in Africa? He gonna send you to the slave trading post.
Law, right?
With
And
the
legally,
quickest.
in America, under the U.S. Constitution, if you are convicted of a crime, you can be subjected
Nah, the
to slavery.
Africans are selling
It's the Arabs. It's in Libya and Mauritania.
and they are
Those are the
Africans.
Africans. They are Africans.
Just
They
like
on the
Elon
continent.
Musk
but
is an African, all right? They are
like Arabs.
Africans. They're
Africans. He's a white man.
So again, bro, the dudes you're talking to on this panel are primarily going to be from West Africa or Central Africa or something like that. We're not talking about.
They Africa.
You're not going to have a bunch of Lebanese.
If an earthquake happens in Africa, does it happen in Central
American. Why
Africa?
you keep talking? What's your obsession with Africa for, man? Are you American?
Because you hate Africa so
Dude
much.
got an attention deficit, bro. He got an attention deficit. He just like to talk.
About America.
But the problem is
that shit is made up. You do know that, right? There's only one Africa, right?
My friend.
We just need to ignore him, man.
Y'all sound like the Berlin Conference. This is Central Africa. This is East Africa. This is North Africa.
Let's believe in Pan-Africanism enough
Damn.
to walk him down.
Y'all don't even get it.
That's what I'm saying.
Y'all colonized thoroughly.
No, we want our freedom, my friend. We're building our nation.
FBA had y'all
Our brothers and
finally
sisters
reflect
from
on
America.
yourselves
Hey,
now.
look,
Brothers and
hey,
sisters
look.
like Professor James
Sir,
Small.
FBA
There's
Focus on your
there's
own
a
issues
there's a
instead of
lot of
running
good
away
things about
from it.
Africa.
FBA are tethers.
There's a lot of good things that's
FBA
going on in
are
Africa.
FBA
tethers
wants y'all
to
to do
African
well in
American
your own
history.
homelands, though.
FBA are
We
tethers
want y'all to do
to
well in your
African
own
American
homelands.
history.
That's it.
You guys
This
don't
guy is
speak
nothing
for
about
us.
FBA. He's just a
We
FBA
advocate
and
for
a Pookie
y'all.
Ray Ray. He's another
And for the
FBA
Pookie Ray Ray
69
at
cents a
FBA.
day, you
for
can feed an
Are you
African
gonna
African
child.
advocate?
Americans.
Are
We
you gonna
want y'all
advocate
to
for
really
black
be
people to get
feeding
reparations?
yourselves in Africa.
Are you gonna advocate for black people to get
Nagolo,
reparations
do
so
you
we can go
agree?
back to
I
Africa, brother?
FBA
advocate
does
for
not
I
speak.
can't even
to
hear what
stick to
nobody's saying.
Africans in
Everybody
Africa.
speaking on top of everybody. I don't
Right.
know
It's
what.
So
just a bunch
Nagolo,
of
would
talk.
you agree? FBA does not speak for African Americans. If
We
anything,
don't want
they tether
handouts
themselves
to be
to
given out
our
to
history.
Africans and
I don't
Caribbeans.
even know what that FBA is. I'm not speaking on them no more.
It's a
That's over
club.
with.
Foundational
Thank
Black
you.
Africans. It's called
It's a
Foundational
club.
Black Africans, brother.
It's a club of black Americans who don't want
It's
to be
not no
black
damn
Yeah,
anymore.
it's
club.
Foundational
Is
Black
That's what
that
it
Africans.
is.
you a Pan African? You
Yeah,
hold
Foundational Black Africans.
ideological subversive ideas
FBA,
like Pan
What's
Africanism.
subversive?
All Pan Africans are far left.
That's not true at all.
Yes,
He's an idiot.
all
I think
Pan
what he,
Africans are Marxist
I think what
socialists.
he mean
All
by that
Pan
is
Africans don't even
I
You
vote.
think
can
what he
never
mean
be
by that
like
is
y'all
Pan
can never
When
Africans
be
you
like
are
say
Robert
liberal.
far
Mugabe.
left, you are talking
Y'all
Pan
can
about
never
Africans
be
are
like
political
Robert
liberal
Mugabe.
affiliation. Many
Y'all
when
Pan
it comes.
always
Africans don't
Marxist
even
socialists. You're
vote.
always far left. Pan
Karl
Africans,
Marx was a racist. Karl Marx was a racist,
Pan
and
Africans are
no
far
real Pan
left.
African is finna follow him. So, and no, there's not
Pan
no left
Africans
or
are
no far
always
nothing.
far
It's not no
left.
far left
As
or
a
far
beauty
right.
of
Yeah,
people,
they
we
far
can choose what
left.
we want to
Pan
choose.
Africans are far left.
Nah, it's not, bro. Take
As
that,
a
leave
beauty
that
of
in
people,
America, bro.
we can choose what we want to
Okay,
choose.
so
We
working
can
with the
stay in America and
Marxists
lick the
and the
booty of a
socialists
white
and
man.
Putin, that
No,
wouldn't
that's
mean
your
that you're
Black
far
Panther
left.
Party. That's
It's what
that's
many
not no
African
Pan Africanism.
Americans
Hold
did.
on, hold on.
Yeah, that's
I think
you.
what he mean. I
Okay,
It's
think what
what
he mean when
many
he
of them
say
did.
Pan
Lumumba wasn't
Africans are
far left.
leftist
The
is
Panthers
that they're
subscribe to
willing to
Marxist
accept
ideology.
disrespect. They're willing to accept
That's a fact.
disrespect for
Pan
some
Africans are far
false
left, man.
peace, for some false temporary
The
peace.
Chinese,
They're
the
willing to
Brother, if
Chinese
accept
that's
have
the
disrespect.
done
case,
more
then
for
don't
Africa.
engage. It's that
The
simple. You don't
Chinese
have
have
to
done more
engage. It's
for
literally
Africa
that
than
simple.
America ever did. The Chinese have done more to develop Africa, help us develop Africa, than a white man
Go
in
get a
Europe
tub.
ever did,
Take a bath.
or the
Yeah, the
Americans ever
Communist
did.
Chinese
And now
Party,
you're
See,
yes.
you
crying
talking
like
good about the
bitches because
Chinese
we're
now.
doing business
What
with
you
the Chinese.
talk? What
Yeah,
you talk?
we're doing business
Disrespect
with
the
the
Because he's
Chinese?
far left.
We're doing business with the
That's,
Chinese. They're only helping us to develop
Why you
our nation.
disrespect us
And you
I'm gonna
and
don't
not
be
the
like
honest,
that.
Chinese?
Joe.
You
You
don't like
FBA
that because you
dudes
want
are
us to run to the
embarrassing.
white man and
Yeah, they
beg him,
ruining these
oh, yes,
shows, man.
America, give us a
Real
little
talk.
Y'all are
some.
embarrassing.
No. We're going east and we're looking as far as possible
And the
and we like what
unfortunate
we see.
part
And we're
that
going to
I
go
would
there and
tell
get
Prince
development.
Louis
We ain't going to
is
America.
the
Step to
unfortunate part I
America.
would tell Prince Louis is he associates many of us African Americans with FBA just because we're from America. We don't
No,
A
align.
Pan African
We
can
don't
never
align
truly
with
be
their ideology at
FBA. They
all.
can only be an honorary tether. That's it, or a tether. If you are of FBA lineage and you're a Pan
Hey,
African,
what's the
Foundational
topic,
Black
man?
you
Africans.
are
What? Hey,
FBA.
a honorary
so somebody
tether.
else speak.
Foundational Black Africans,
The
FBA.
topic
It
is
means Foundational Black Africans.
somebody's making fun of.
The topic is we're walking down FBA, right?
Yeah, to get back on topic, I think it is important for anybody who has traveled or would like to travel to like become more immersed. I think that's the point of what dude was saying was like,
Mhm.
you know, plan your trips when you want to go to these different places and like actually do some work to try to immerse with the locals to really experience that.
Absolutely.
It's a culture that we usually grow up that's a lot different from our own, and we just got to put focus into that and like, you know, give ourselves a chance to enrich our actual cultures and stuff with
And
you
to
know,
that
with
point, brother.
experience.
And then
And to
that's true. That's true because the
and
fact is, if people people travel to Africa, they go for party, they stay in the city, they run out of money, they come back, they complain. So in order for you to understand it, you got to interact with the
See, but this is
locals,
a part of the problem.
make your hand dirty,
100%.
and then you understand how
But
the
wait,
system
brother.
works. But you can
Let
stay
him finish,
you
bro.
go to
Hold on.
Ghana, you go to Accra,
$100%.
you go for party, and then you run out of cash, then you start complaining, oh,
Yeah.
Ghana is not good.
Right.
Stop
That's not
romanticizing
the right way
Africa.
of
So here's
doing
the
it.
thing, though. You're
Bro,
presenting
hold on,
it
no,
from a
let him, hold
negative
on, no,
aspect.
no, bro.
You
Let
can
him
go out
finish.
there and survive.
Willie,
Let me
chill,
finish.
Do
bro.
you know the
Let him
conversion
finish.
rate?
Let me finish,
Willie,
sir.
Chill. Let
So
him finish,
the
bro.
whole thing is
I thought
the
you was
reason
done.
why Mr. The guy from London, what he was saying, he was just giving example, and I give this similar example that if the Lebanese and the Chinese can go into the remote part of Africa and be successful, why we the black people, inclusive everybody, African, African American, why
Real
we
rap.
should complain about no infrastructure, no
Yep.
electricity, no
Real
this, no
talk.
that, no running water?
Tribalism.
It's going to get late for us, right? So
Get
we
off
have
your
to
high
go and make
horse.
our hand dirty in order for you to be successful. You got to struggle. You got to suffer. Any system that is so comfortable,
That's not
it's
true.
very, very difficult to succeed in that type of
Listen, I was in Sierra Leone in
environment.
Bro, y'all let
Christmas
him
in
finish.
December. I was
Especially,
Hold
disgusted.
on, bro.
especially when you see America right now. Africa is on a developing stage, right? We are
That's it.
we are still developing. We have not reached our limit yet. So there's a lot of opportunity that you
Make
can make
good
use of.
money.
But in order for you to succeed in that kind of environment, life is not going to be so comfortable for you. Electricity is not going to be over. If that be the case, then everybody will go there,
Yep,
right?
gotcha.
So this is the best time for you to penetrate the system. But in America, there's so many regulations right here. And you need capital intensity to start a lot of things in America.
Yep.
There's no way that you can succeed here anymore. So in order for you to make
That's
it
not
now,
true,
you have to go
brother.
to Africa and make your hand dirty. There's no
That's not
regulation.
true, brother.
Bro, let
Opportunity
him
in
finish
America
before you
is dead
say
now.
anything.
All you can do is work for someone. Trust me,
Yes.
entrepreneurs are not coming up. It's only
No.
the rich. There's no in
Bro,
between.
that's
Listen,
not
1%.
true.
Let me tell you what's
Yeah,
true.
that's not true.
1%,
Louis, chill out, bro.
1%
That's
of
Let him
not
go,
true.
and then he
America,
can speak.
brother.
Let him go.
The statistic is 1% of America own 90% of the wealth. Go and check it out. Go and Google it.
Correct.
Bro, and how much you
What's
think
your
wealth it
point in
is to
saying
make it
that?
to 1%?
Brother, sorry?
I said
What's
how
the
much
point in saying that?
Right. Listen, any statistic, anybody will tell you, you got more chance. If you got a little bit of capital from here, you go to Africa and you know the system, you're going to make 10 times more money than you will ever make here. And
That's
that's what
true.
I'm working
That's
on.
true.
And that's what
Wait,
I'm
Yep.
going
that's
to
That's
do.
why
not
the
true.
Lebanese are in
Okay?
Africa.
Nah,
A
bro,
developing nation, more opportunities there.
It
This is already
no,
built up. What are you going to sell?
So
Go and
now
sell
let me
he
present
speakers on
this.
Amazon? What are you going to sell?
Watch
it
this.
bro,
is
To
true
create
about
you
the
got a
red
little
tape.
bit of
to
I mean,
create
you
an
if
got a
you want
little
to
even
bit
go
of thing
on
to
playing
say.
scale,
field, right? To
if
create an even playing field, if I'm gonna take my Black American dollars and go anywhere, I don't necessarily have to come back to the continent, right? I could make 10 times as much in India, right? I could create call
Good luck
centers.
with that, bruh.
Oh, hear what I'm saying. Hear what I'm saying.
Good luck
Right?
trying to sell to an Indian.
Yeah.
Hear what I'm saying.
I'll get real. Listen, your
No, this
president
is
Donald
real.
Trump,
I'm trying to share something
Donald
with you.
Trump,
Relax.
your president Donald Trump made
Come on, bro. We
the
listen to you,
assertion
bro.
when he
At
came
certain
to
points,
power.
you gotta mute up. Like we've listened to you, uninterrupted. I wanted to respond to you, right? So now, here's my response to what you're saying. If you're saying, right, that outside of this beautiful life I have in America with foreign cars and a home that I built from the ground
Bro,
up,
get to
right?
the
If you're
point, man.
saying, hear me out, hear me out. If you're saying that the way to even more money comes
Yep.
through Africa.
Yep.
Bro, you not Jigga. Quit playing. You're not fly either.
So can I finish? What you want to see the
You broke.
cars?
Bro,
I'm
just
broke.
get to the point, man.
Go ahead,
Oh,
go
all
ahead,
right.
bro.
Hurry up, dude.
Here's the point. What I'm
Americans
saying,
have to build in Africa.
Well said,
Simple.
brother.
Black
Let this brother
Americans
speak now.
don't have to build anywhere. And because we're American, we have the opportunity to build anywhere in the world we want.
Brother, listen.
If you want a
You're a black
generation
But that's
Africa,
what,
you
bro.
need to
That's
build
what
in Africa.
You're
y'all
black.
speaking, bro. With all due respect, bro. If anybody, in my opinion, bro, that's still referring to themselves as a just outright American, you're not really no real Pan Africanist,
Yeah,
man.
you a joke.
Like
I said Black
Dr.
Americans, brother.
Obadele Campbell says that all the time. A lot of people, bro,
Thank you.
that keep talking about this quote unquote Pan Africanism stuff. Y'all are not really Pan Africanists.
No.
Like the
I
term
said
has gotten
Black
cool.
American, though, brother.
The term has gotten cool to use, but like I said the other day, bro, in action and in reality and in culture and in mindset, most people that be talking about this Pan
We're not
Africanism
ready
stuff
for it.
aren't really Pan Africanists. That's why these conversations keep
Thank you,
revolving around
sir.
the same rudimentary stuff.
So let me ask you.
And I
How do
would
you
like to add on
define?
to and
How do
compliment
you
what you're
define
saying,
Pan
sir.
Africanism?
Give me a second.
Pan
I like to
Africanism
add on
is
and
that we put
compliment
our
what you
people
just
first.
said,
That's all
sir.
it is.
All
We
right.
put our
Hold
people
on,
first.
bro.
So
Shut up.
the
I'm
way
just
I
Pan
trying to
look at
get
it
Africanism
the
not
is
for
flow.
this.
Americans.
Let me ask him a
The way I
question
look at it
about
is this.
We
something he
put black
just
people
said
You can
first.
before we
be
run that
you could
stop
be
sign, and then you
Pan
got the
African
floor, bro.
first,
Before we
Dude is
run the
but you
just
stop
talking.
cannot
sign,
be
I just want to ask him a
FBA
question on
after
what
you
he
become
just
Pan
said
African.
before we run the stop sign, right? So
You
when you
understand
say,
that?
that a lot of Black Americans that associate themselves with Pan Africanism aren't really Pan Africans. My
No, you're
question to
not.
you, my brother, I'm not asking you. My question to you, my brother, that said that was, what is your definition of Pan African?
In 2026.
No, it's not about no 2026. Look, brother, it's about you having prioritize African culture, African economics, African language, African worldview.
And you do understand that's
It's
not
not
Pan Africanism, right?
He
no,
was
but
just on
yes, it
here last
is.
night, sir, talking about recolonizing Africa.
Pan
He wants
Africanism
to
is very
recolonize
simple.
Nah,
Now
Africa.
listen.
He said he
I
wants to
Now listen,
recolonize
listen.
Who
I
Africa.
don't
wants to
know
do that?
that I
Who
don't know
wants to
who
Hold
do that?
said
on,
that. That
guys.
was not me,
Hold
so
on.
That was
I
Wall
don't have
Street
no opinion
Will.
towards that.
That was my brother Kwame. You got the wrong
No,
guy.
but
But
that
here's
was
what I'm
you.
saying, though. Hold
You
on,
said
FBA.
you and your
FBA, give
brother
us respect. And
Kwame,
FBA,
you two
respectfully.
should go over to Africa and recolonize it.
He
That's
didn't
your
say that.
goals.
That wasn't him, right?
It's
So
probably
That
slow
was
down
you
for a
two.
Yeah,
second,
I
FBA.
don't know nothing about that conversation.
That's
Right, right.
crazy that you won't back
Nagolo,
that
that
up,
wasn't
though.
you. Right, but Nagolo, when you gave your definition of Pan-Africanism, right, that does kind of leave Black Americans in the lurch, right? Because
Yeah,
the
which I'm
reality is,
saying
hear me
I
out, hear
would
me
want
out.
them to though, Beto.
Hey, can I land real quick, bro? Right, like how I understood Pan-Africanism from what I was taught from my mother and father was, it was the goal of Blacks benefiting Blacks anywhere
Yep.
in the world, right?
Yep.
So it was
Oh,
about
man.
working with the diaspora, it was about working with the continent, and it was also about working with other Black Americans right here in America, right? Like
Yep.
What
our
diaspora?
internal, hold on,
Let him finish,
our
bro.
our internal domestic issues, right? And how we could help each other here without ever factoring in Africa. That is still Pan-Africanism,
No, yeah,
right?
it's an aspect of it, but it's not that in its entirety.
So hold
That's
on.
why I just
That's
gave a brief
tribalism.
synopsis.
That's
But
tribalism, brother.
the most essential elements, yes, it
Yeah.
is working together. But again, it's prioritizing the culture
All
and
right.
the worldview, because the culture and the worldview is going to help us elevate and create things
That's
for
it.
ourselves,
But see,
and
here's
not
the
try to look
problem.
towards other places.
Here's the problem. When you say
Yeah,
that,
you got a
right?
problem. You got a
Hold
problem
on.
with Africa. You just don't want to include Africa. You're cooning,
I'm gonna
trying to
respond
disguise and
after.
dance around it
Bro,
better
come
than
on,
Africa.
man.
He's an
I
I'm
just,
gonna
agent. All
respond
right?
after
I'm
he's
trying to
done.
let
Let me
your
get it
Pan
out.
Africans
Let me
know
get it out.
out
Chill.
there. He's an agent.
yeah,
I'm
All right.
FBA. I
he's a
don't
All right.
want
classic
no
agent.
parts
He
of
tries to hide it, but
Hey,
colonizing
FBA, can
y'all.
I have the
Y'all
conversation
can
with my
keep
other
colonizing
American brother?
yourselves
yeah.
like
FBA,
y'all been doing.
FBA, can me and my African American brother have a moment, right? Because I want to respond to what he said.
I'm not African American, brother.
What do you consider yourself? You're not from
I'm
America?
telling them, bro.
No, I was
Bro, you
born here.
see
I
that
was
red,
born
black,
here,
and
but
green?
I'm
He's
not no
serious
African
with
American.
it. He's serious with it.
So what do you consider yourself if you're not African American?
What do you mean? What I consider myself? Like what you
I
you
mean,
talking about in terms of nationality or culture?
I'll keep it simple. An Igbo considers himself an Igbo. Fulani considers
I'm
himself a
Bamayele.
Fulani. Okay, so you are directly attaching yourself to Africa, and that's great, bro. I would never shoot you down in doing that, right? But the point
That's what you've
is,
been doing all
but
day
hold
since you've
on.
been on here.
No, it's not what I've been doing. Let me have the conversation, right? The point I'm making is that's not a requirement of Pan-Africanism, right? Like what I've learned
See, these people,
over the
It's
Agent
last
Pan
couple
Provocateurs, make me
Africanism.
years,
sick, man.
namely, hold on. What I've
It's called
learned
Pan
over,
Africanism. What part I don't you understand?
Ayo, bro,
Africanism.
can we talk, bro? Like, can we, so we can hear each other? You got the
I'm
floor
pulling
right
up your
after me.
skirt, Big
Or
Will.
would you
I,
prefer to have the floor
you are
first
Agent
and then allow me
Provocateur.
to
You
speak?
always been.
Bro, let him finish so we can get the conversation going.
You the
Right.
type to
Bro,
fuck up
hold on,
your money
Sammy.
on
Let him finish,
on some
bro.
J's, on some Jordans.
And I
These
wish you
people
could
over
mute
there on the
this.
continent,
Mute this guy,
they
bro.
trading gold for food.
Who's trading gold
You
for
fuck
food?
up your money
Bro,
on
Sammy,
Hey,
dude, you
J's.
over here trolling
who's
now. Let
trading
him
gold for
finish,
food?
dude. Chill.
Ayo,
Hey, who's
FBA.
trading gold for food? I
Ayo,
want to go buy
FBA.
some
Hold
right
long,
My
bro.
money is long.
Bro,
FBA.
Willie, get to
I'm
the
not
point,
messing
man.
up
Stay
nothing,
on topic, bro.
right? So that's a part of the topic, right?
Just get to it, bro. You over here
Right.
trying to.
So again, all right, you're right. I'm dealing with your definition of Pan-Africanism and mine, right? I'm saying even if you look at the AES, right? Like that is a demonstration of Pan-Africanism, right? But what you see in that is it doesn't include everybody in Africa, right? That's just a reality. But it still sticks to the tenets of Pan-Africanism, one group working with another for everyone's benefit, right? We're working for each other's benefit. So I'm
It's
saying,
always you
so
Yankees forcing Pan-Africanism on the
Sammy,
continent.
bro, quit cutting people off, bro. It ain't your turn.
we're not forcing anything on you, brother. You can do
You
what you
keep
want
getting
over there.
distracted, Willie. You got to stick to your point, bro, so you can
You're
pass
right.
the mic.
So what I'm saying is, right, like with Pan-Africanism, there is room for Black Americans to be domestic. The same way there's room for Africans to
Never
focus
trust a New
on what's
Yorker,
going
yo.
on there, right? The important part, what separates us from coons is we're not shooting each other down, right? That's the distinction.
Right.
Once
Okay,
you
brother.
start to do that, then you become a coon. You would
Right.
agree
So
with me, Nicola,
right.
right?
So brother,
Yeah, I'm not outright saying that everybody that identifies with it would not. I mean, I kind of would say that because if you're directly supporting the American power structure, then you are going against my goals. So yeah, I would have to say that you would be going against what I'm.
Now, Nicola,
American power structure is
now wait,
incompetent.
that point is what I wanted to
It's
deal
against
with,
black.
right? Because the reality is we are Americans, right? Like there's a goofy dude, but he makes, you know how a broken clock is right twice a day. So goes the cracker, goes the Negro in America. That's
Now
one thing
that's coon talk, brother. I'm
that's
sorry.
literally the
Nah,
only
bro,
thing
hold
he
on. Let him
says that I
finish.
ever agree with,
I think
right?
he got a point here.
Hold
Or
on,
something.
hold on. So that's the only thing this one particular guy that makes that comment says that I ever agree with, right? That is the reality, right? Like how America operates and functions does highly determine where we land as Black Americans. If America's doing well, we do better than we were doing before. If America gets a cold, we get AIDS. You get what I'm saying?
I wouldn't necessarily. Oh, my bad. You're not finished. My bad.
Yeah, I'm saying we are because of where we are, right? Being here in America, we are directly, our fate is somewhat attached to the fate of this nation, right?
You mean the fate of the white man?
And brother, in my opinion, that's why our quote unquote community in the United States is finished because it's contingent upon it's too dependent in nature. That's
Well, he
and
said,
if you don't have if you're hitching your wagons to a nation state or formation that doesn't care anything about you, to me that's just incredibly idiot.
but Flex, let me ask you something real quick, bro.
That's not our
Hold on.
reality.
Hold on, let me
America
ask
very
Flex something real
much
quick,
cares
y'all.
about us, right?
Hold on.
Now, as
you have
a
Hold on,
consumer
bro.
base, yeah.
You have
Other than that,
generals
no.
like Westmoreland, right? This is a Black general, one of the highest ranking officers in the U.S. military, right? My
No.
point is, that's how ingrained we are in this system.
So let me ask him.
One of the fallacies a lot of people believe, and I'll land here, is that this is just a white country. No, this is my home as well, right? My lineage, my history does have an effect on everything that this country was able to become, all the way going back to Crispus Attucks. We were involved from the very beginning, right? So we
Your
are.
parents aren't from the United States, and you know it.
I mean, that, brother, I don't agree with that, but I'll let somebody else
But
speak.
Flex, let me ask you this, bro. On top of what he just said, bro.
Pointing his gun at you.
Hold on, bro. Let me ask you this though. But think about it. Think about it from this perspective, though, bro. Like honestly, if we consider like, being like the most wealthy, the majority of our wealth comes from in the United States and the conditions that the United States has set forth. And the same with being the most educated is because of the opportunities and stuff to colleges that we have that kind of give us like our advantages in a lot of ways. So it does come specifically tied to how the United States is doing. So
Correct.
I mean, he's not wrong in that. I get what you're saying. Like as far as
I'm
the
not
future,
saying he's wrong. I'm saying it's stupid to tie yourself to that.
But it's not.
In my opinion, as a quote unquote African American,
But it's
if you
not, bro,
identify as that.
because it is the reality though. Like it is.
No, it is,
give,
but I'm saying you should create the thing with why I think that African Americans that are intelligent should cling to Pan Africanism is because you being tied to that system that you don't have a direct, I would say, full stake in is not intelligent to do that.
But
no, I hear
here's
what
what
you're
I'm
saying. You're saying we got to take
Here-
our history. Hold on, Willie. We got to take our history and put it into our own hands. I get what you're saying with that,
Correct.
but
Right.
at the end of the day, the majority of us that are not doing that, bro, like it is kind of already tied to the system that
Yeah,
we're
and
in.
they're gonna fall by the wayside, and it is what it is.
Sir,
All right.
do you
But here's my
hold
point.
other nationality to that same standard that they have to give up their nationality to become Pan Africans?
He's not saying you have to give up your nationality.
No other
Have to give up
nationality.
Britain?
I don't know of any other nationality. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about a Pan Africanism. You got black
nationality
people
did we
from all
give up?
over the world that's part
What
of Pan Africanism.
nationality
Brother
did we
Wolf,
give up?
can I just ask you a simple question after
He's
what you
saying
said?
that you shouldn't be American and be part of Pan African. Are you
So
going
what
to
I'm
tell other
saying is,
nationalities that?
so what I'm
Yes.
saying is, if
Yes.
we're giving up a nationality, it would be our American
What about
nationality,
Jamaicans?
right? The
Let him
reality
finish,
is,
bro.
right? The reality is, we went through an ethnogenesis, right? We became our own people here. We are ingrained in this system.
Hello.
I'm not. Hold on, and I'm gonna land here. Let me finish.
That's not
I'm
true
not
for you
giving
yet.
up.
That's what the
I'm not
Brazilian is.
giving up.
The black
Hold on.
Brazilian. That's what he is at the
Hold
moment.
on. Slow
That's
down,
not
bro.
true for you.
You got the floor next, and I promise you I'm not going to say nothing, right? But what I'm saying is, me as a black American, I'm not going to give up the inroads and progress that we've made in America, right? And I'll land here making my final point, right? Right now in America, they're using Chat GPT to literally talk to the dolphins, right? Now, when you look at the team that's working on that, they're all black men on that team. What you are asking me to do, right? If you're asking me to not recognize my nationality, is to give up everything that my ancestors fought for, died for, and invested in, right?
Okay,
I'm
what did
not
they
willing
fight
to
for,
give
brother?
that up.
What did they fight for?
Brother, look, but this ancestors fought and died stuff. If the dollar stops being the world reserve currency, all of that our ancestors fought and died for this. That's not going to be the case. African Americans are going to be on the first train smoking when it's not convenient. So no,
So that was
people just make this
sound like a
conversation
traitor.
because it's convenient.
Sound like
But
a
that
traitor.
was
I
my
think
point, brother.
I think we get.
Let me ask a question.
I don't
Brother
think you
Wolski.
understood my point, brother.
Right.
That
Go ahead,
No, I
Lewis.
did
What's up?
understand your
You
point.
gotta take your shit back to a psycho
Let me just ask the brother
He
one
was still
question.
alive, the American dollar will fail.
Oh, somebody
Lewis,
shot
go
at
ahead,
me.
bro.
Oh, I
Brother,
gotta go
let me
back
just
to
ask you one
psycho.
question.
Who
Listen,
said that?
listen. Let me tell you something, brother, about me. Okay, most of the people that when they meet me, even
Shout
when I'm
out
back
to
in
Psycho.
Ghana, most of
Yeah.
them think, okay, the ones who can't identify accent, that I actually live in America because I listen to nothing but American music. I know more about Black American music than probably you do, right?
See,
Listen, I
that's
immerse
crazy.
myself. I follow the IUIC Hebrew Israelite movement. That's how much, and I'm an Ashanti boy.
Man, who gave you some coochie,
Right?
Tether?
So hear me out.
You ain't getting no FBA coochie
That
in your
disrespect
damn
is not
life.
Hold
necessary.
on.
None of that.
Lou,
Yeah, I got this.
hey,
I'm gonna let
hey,
you
let's
cash that
keep
My
it on
biggest,
topic though, bro.
hold
Let
on.
him
What's
finish.
your favorite
I'm
Hold on,
MCA
Willie.
song?
I'm gonna keep
Hold
it on
on,
top.
Willie. Let him
Right?
finish.
My
What's
biggest,
your favorite Donald Goines
no,
book?
hang on a minute.
Bro, let
You
him
made the
finish, man.
claim you know
Make his
Black
point.
history, Black American culture
Bro,
better
you
than
can't
me.
be getting triggered by everything somebody says, bro. Let him
The
finish.
I'm
only
not
way you can
triggered,
know
bro.
about something like this, you had to be pillow talking to
Bro,
someone.
he clearly ain't. It's not. Just let him finish and get to his point,
Bro,
though. That's what we need
I
to
just
do.
spent
Let him
I
get to
just
his
spent the
point.
whole
Nah, you
afternoon
right.
listening to the Fourth MDs. Forgive me, girl. I've been playing out Ryan and Croc. I
Lewis,
love the
Lewis,
song.
bro, you got to
Okay?
get to your point, man.
All right, the point I'm trying to make is this, okay? I love the African American culture. I know the history and everything. And sometimes I sit and I ask myself, okay, well, the brothers and sisters over there is not easy. They were removed 500 years ago through war mainly. Okay? They've been through what they've been through. And it is not that easy for all of them to pick up a bag. And even according to prophecy, most of us are going to be in America anyway. So that's cool. But the point I've got to say to you is this. Do you think you've done all that fighting just so you can integrate and not have no representation right now in office? Why didn't you just take that time now and get about 4 or 5 states that you run and control strictly for blacks, that no white man could go to power? So at least you can claim that territory as yours.
Got
And
you.
for now, so much you get the MAGA movement rising up. Oh, I'm thinking about here is, my God, we're going to go through Mississippi burning all over again, which is a torture on all black
Please
people.
allow me to respond, y'all.
Right?
Go ahead.
Why have
Yeah,
you
of
not
course.
fought? Why have you not fought for your own states that you run and control? If that is your aim at the end of the day, if you hate a Pan-African or the idea of going back to Africa that much, why don't you do that?
Lewis, let me ask you real
Allow me
quick,
to
bro.
answer
Do
that.
you
Hold
know what
on, Rick, and I'm gonna
percentage?
keep it
Do you know
short.
what percentage of
I'm
Black Americans is in the United States?
13%,
Like,
right?
I'm not
So
asking you, Willie. I'm asking him, bro.
my bad.
Okay,
But let me
to the best of
respond
my
to him.
knowledge,
Because you opening it up for
it's
him to
about
go
35
again
million or
without
so,
being
or
taught.
maybe 38 million, right? I might
So
not have
what
the
That's why I
percentage
don't
is that,
ask
though?
questions.
and what and the
Go ahead.
percentage of them that actually live in America, I would say is about 95%.
95% of Americans is Black. I'm saying what percentage of Americans you think are Black?
Oh, America, I think it's about 15%.
13.
Okay.
Nah, it's way more than 13. You
Can
know
I
that
can
they
I
It's a
keep
little
on
can
bit
I
saying
more,
that.
respond to
but
this guy about
yeah.
why
More
don't black
even.
people got their own states? Can I respond to
No,
that?
I said, why don't you
Go
fight
ahead,
for
brother.
that? Why
Let
don't
me
you
respond to that real quick. 2 minutes. Let me get 2 minutes for that.
Go ahead, brother.
After the Civil War, black people were not United States citizens. We
I know
controlled
that.
the entire South, all of the southern states. It wasn't until the dismantlement of the Freedmen's Bureau and us getting the 14th Amendment, in which all of our territories that we won after the Civil War was enfranchised in the United States. Because of that 14th Amendment, that's why we don't have those southern states anymore. And also, that's the reason 44 million Africans are able to get citizenship. So we had those states
Okay, brother.
right
Let's
after
go
the Civil War.
here. Go ahead.
Nah, so
Go
I
ahead,
want to
brother.
clarify.
I haven't finished. Has he finished?
You done,
Have you
bro?
finished, brother?
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah,
All right.
he said, why don't we have these
All
states?
right.
We have the states.
So hold on. So I wanna answer that, right? So the first thing you have to understand is Black Americans are spread out all over this nation, right? Like what benefits us doesn't even necessarily mean having a city or a state or a town, right? We have a very clear reality of what has happened when we did that and couldn't defend it. We're talking Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're talking Rosewood,
That was not a state.
Florida.
Bro.
Hold
I'm
on, let me
talking about
finish.
running
Let me
a state.
finish. Can I finish, brother? Just let me finish, right? So one thing I realize when I'm talking to a lot of people is they really don't know Black American history, right?
Brother, I
Most
know
of
Black
us,
American
can I
history.
finish, bro?
Okay, I know
Can I
Black
finish?
American history.
I didn't say a
Okay?
word while you were
We
speaking,
go
brother.
to school here in England and in Africa. We know Black
I
American
didn't say
history.
a word while you were speaking. But
You
since you
making
want to
excuses just
interrupt
so you
me,
can push you in the corner. We know
since
Black
you want to
American history.
interrupt me, right? Can you name another type of structure besides integration in America?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. You should be fighting
No,
to
I
have your
asked
own
you, can
state
you
that you
name
run
another
and control.
structure? No,
That's what you should be fighting
Slow
for.
down, slow
Instead
down.
of civil
Slow
rights,
down, bro.
that's what
Slow
you
down.
should have fought for.
Before you
That's what
tell
you should
me
be
what
fighting
to
for now.
do in my country, I'm asking you, do you
Well,
understand
you
our
obviously you love your
dynamics?
country as
So
it
let me
is.
ask the question again. You're crashing out, bro. We can't have a
No, I'm not
conversation.
crashing out. I'm not
You
crashing out.
are.
You're
I'm not
building a
fighting you,
land.
bro.
Why
Slow
don't
down.
you run 3 or
Slow
5
down.
states
Slow
by
down.
yourself?
I'm gonna ask you a question again.
bro.
I want to ask you a question again, and then I'll possibly educate you if you can't answer me. Do you
Brother,
know
there's
of any
nothing you can
system?
educate me on
Do
when
you
it comes
know
to
of any
America.
system after the Civil War besides integration?
At that time, that was the only thing available. That's what white man gave you. That was the
All
only
right,
thing
cool.
available to you.
So you don't
That's
know.
not true,
So
brother.
wait.
Okay?
So let me.
You
So
had you
now
had
allow
Jim
me.
Crow. You
So
had
now
Jim
allow
Crow.
me to
Okay?
educate
Hold
you,
on,
right?
You had the Ku Klux
Here,
Klan running Jim
slow
Crow and all
down,
that
bro.
era.
Come
Okay?
on, you being a dickhead, bro.
No, you're
Chill.
being a dickhead. You're right now for the
Brother,
question. Why don't you fight for
Jim
freedom,
Crow
states on
and
your own?
after Reconstruction, that's you conflate two different time periods, brother.
Listen, I'm talking about 2026. Okay? You know black man ain't got no
Yo,
power in
fam.
America. God damn it. The only
Nah,
thing
that's
you're running
true.
is your goddamn
All
mouth.
right, fam.
That's
Let
true.
me
If you
respond
listen
to
to other
what
people, you
my
might have
other.
something. Why
Let me
don't you run
respond to
and get
what my
about 4 or
other
5 states that
American
you run and
brothers
control
said that was
according
wrong.
to the American Constitution? Why don't you do that? I'll have more respect for you if you done that. You used to
Lewis, bro. Hold
just
on,
happy sucking on the
See, this shit
nut
getting
sack
me
of the
bro,
mad
white man.
because I'm
bro.
coming to you genuinely and I'm trying to have a
Don't give me no
conversation
genuine crap.
and you're
Listen, we know
filibustering
what tribe you belong to
and
when
you're
you left
being
when you were
disruptive.
forced out of
Why this
Africa.
We
guy
don't know
crashing
what
out like
tribe
this,
you
We
This
know.
man?
belong
dude
to.
is a
And you
pretender.
know what we
Wall
used to
Street
get?
Will's a
You need that
pretender.
warrior
He's not
spirit. And you're
even
not showing that warrior
100,
spirit
man.
to me, brother.
He make me sick because he not FBA, and he make y'all sick because you know he not Pan African.
I'll never be FBA. I am Pan African.
Can you finish what you were saying though? Can you go back to what you was about to say?
But I want to hear you denounce your country. I want to hear you denounce your place of birth.
Another system besides integration.
Yeah, you ain't 100%.
The answer to that, very simply,
I love America.
was infusion cities. Right now, a great example of an infusion city would be Wilmington, North Carolina. Right. So if anyone doesn't know about Alexander,
integration,
if anyone
bro.
doesn't know about, no, it's different. It's different from integration, right? So what infusion cities were was putting whites and blacks in the same city to just compete. It wasn't about, can I finish? Can I finish? Do you want to learn something, bro?
No,
bro, stick to the point and get to it, man.
Ain't nothing new. It's already
Willie, you take too long when you're talking, bro. That's what pisses everybody off, man. You got to get to the point.
The point ain't
you don't want to hear that because you're cooning, bro.
Go to DJ Genesis channel for that bullshit.
So I'm trying to put him on.
Bro, you got to get to it,
I
though.
won't take that long, right? I'm quick. Ask my wife, right? So again, infusion cities, right? Wilmington, North Carolina, Alexander.
Why do you want to infuse the white man? Why do you want to?
Let him finish, Louis. Let him finish. I want to hear his point, bro.
Long. Right. So again, right, there were other archetypes besides integration. Infusion cities were about just putting black people and white people next to each other, just letting them compete, right? That was a fairly good model that worked out for us. We did well under that. What happened was, right, a white woman.
Exactly. White would be white. White
Louis, bro, come on, bro.
Yeah, he's
Louis.
talking about identity politics. Y'all
Louis,
see it
bro,
now?
you the oldest dude in the
agent.
room, bro. You got to let us at least get to his point before you start coming at him like that.
Corny, bro. Because I let him make his point uninterrupted. Right?
You got to show decorum, bro. You supposed to be.
Who sent you, bro? That's all I want to know.
Let him finish. Go ahead, Willie. Go ahead, bro.
He sent me. But anyway, right? So with infusion cities, they just put blacks and whites next to each other, let them compete. Right? I already said Wilmington, North Carolina. What ended up happening there was an extremely successful man by the name of Alexander Manley. He had his own newspaper, right? He wrote an article responding to something a white woman said to Congress, right? It ignited the South. So that argument that we were in control of all these states in the South, no, that wasn't the case. What happened was
Queen Yannick, yeah, you're right.
The red shirts was sent to Wilmington, North Carolina, and it's called the burning something, right? Like they burnt everything down.
Are you saying that I'm not telling the truth about the Freedmen's Bureau? That's not true. The Freedmen's Bureau
wasn't. Can he finish his point before you jump in with that?
So what I'm saying that you said that wasn't true was that we had this control over the South that we did not have, right? What we did have was after the Civil War, we had a lot of black men get into politics for the first time. Many of them were on the floor of the Congress, right? Like we had great success even in the Reconstruction period, right? But what happens? We have these towns where we build things, we're not prepared to defend them, and white people attack as we get successful. They burn our cities down, right? And then we have to rebuild. So to your point of our goal should just be to be autonomous on this foreign land, right? I want to make it clear for you that's not really
foreign land.
That's not really an that's not really an option, right?
Yeah,
what became the option that was most beneficial was integrating into the system. Now understand what integration means, and I'll land here.
Can you give specific dates?
Let him land, bro. Then you can ask your question, bro. He's about to land.
Integration doesn't mean working with a white man necessarily, right? What integration also meant was being able to take your baby to the closest hospital, right? It was literally
Negro, we have hospitals still to this very day.
Let him finish, bro. He's about to land.
Never mind.
No, I get your point.
The Freedmen's Bureau did not entail all of the southern states that belonged to the Confederacy for a period of at least 11 years was totally controlled by black people, men and women. You had all the governors, the senators, representatives, all controlled.
That was a state? That was a
That's
state.
Stone Cold
And
Goofies.
these were the abandoned states of the Confederacy. This was a period of time before we got the 14th Amendment. The
So
14th
which states was
Amendment,
that?
these
I
was
want to know, bro.
all of the Confederate states, Tennessee,
All of the
Texas,
states
all
were
of them.
Pick a
were
state,
abandoned.
All of the,
pick a
I'm talking about
time
all of
period.
the
I'll show
formerly
you a white
Confederate
governor.
states.
Could I get
But the
So hold on. Let me understand you,
Pick
bro.
a
You saying
state,
all of
pick a
you saying
time
all of
period. I'll
former
show you a white governor.
all of the former
bro.
Confederate
See how they
states
talking identity
belonged to the blacks.
politics.
Now, what
All of them?
happened was
Okay, go ahead.
what happened was after we got the 14th Amendment, that meant all of our territory was now under the jurisdiction of the United States. That's how we became U.S. citizens. And this is the same reason that Africans can get U.S. citizenship with their babies. The 14th Amendment. He's saying, why didn't you have states? We could have just stayed autonomous and not became 14th Amendment citizens, but where would you be right now?
So you saying that? I mean, I don't know if that's true because
Look it up, the
That's
Freedmen's
not
Bureau.
true, bro.
no. What I'm saying
Look
is
it
that
up.
what let me explain to you so you can understand what I'm trying to tell you, bro. You saying that these states literally were like autonomous. That after the Civil War, that
They were
somehow
not under the jurisdiction of the United States. At the time, they
by
were
who?
stateless,
By
and the
by what
Freedmen's
order
Bureau
though?
was protected by the federal
You,
army.
bro.
They was all
What I'm
controlled by blacks.
All right.
and you saying listen to what I'm saying, bro, because we about to get into nonsense. I can hear it. I can hear it already. You saying that they were protected by the federal army, but it was not part of the jurisdiction of the United States. Is that
It
right?
wasn't because it was controlled by the black slave, the former slave,
But I'm
who wasn't
asking you,
citizen.
who was enforcing this? You saying the federal army? Is that right?
They protected it. The federal
Protected
army
it.
protected it
This is embarrassing.
from the former rebels, because after Abraham Lincoln got assassinated, Andrew Johnson, the next president, gave pardons to all of the Confederates. All of them was free. So they had to protect us from them. This was before the Ku Klux Klan. This was a period
Andrew
between
Jackson, fool.
Andrew
Damn.
Johnson. Andrew Johnson was the vice president of
Let me
Abraham
ask you a
Lincoln,
question,
and
bro.
he gave pardons to all of the Confederate
I need
How
to
soldiers.
make
long
a
after the
statement here.
Civil
No, but
War
I'll let
was
you speak.
Juneteenth?
It's gone to him. Now he's gonna go back to you. You're gonna be long-winded. I'll need to respond to what you said.
But you
Go
don't
ahead,
even
Willie.
know
What's
what
up,
we
Right?
was
bro?
talking
If
about.
you will
Go ahead,
accept,
Lewis. What's up?
right?
What's
If
up,
you
Lewis?
brothers and sisters will accept a brother who's a big fan of our African American brothers and sisters, if you would accept my opinion, just for a sec, okay? I know according to prophecy, most of our people are going to be in the place of Babylon, which is America. Okay, I know that. I'm not going to go against that. But having said that, okay, we have our mind, we have our brain, we have some amount of liberty. I think what the brothers and sisters in America, those who want to stay in America, should be fighting for, okay, is a state, 4 or 5 states that are permanently black and run and controlled, like individual countries in Africa. That's what you should be fighting for, because it's right
No,
there. Listen to me. You
that's
have
what
never
you do
fought
in
for that.
Africa.
Let him finish, bro. Let him
You've
at least
never
Why
get his
y'all
fought
point
haven't
for
out.
been
that. Okay,
successful?
you've
Willie, you
never
can't cut
fought
him
for
off, bro.
that. You will still be
I've been
under
getting cut
America.
off all day,
Okay,
bro.
you
Bro,
will
you've been talking
still.
all day. Let him finish.
Let me finish my point. You will still be under America because you like being under the white man and the protection of the nuclear bomb and all the rest of it. That's fine.
See,
Okay, you will
this one
still
I be
have
ready
that.
to crash
You will
out.
still have that. But you have 4 or 5 states you can run and
This
control,
one I
and
gotta
the
go with
people in
FBA.
position of power will be black
Man,
permanently.
get out of here. You a
That's
New
what
Yorker.
you
I
should be
can't
fighting
stand
for.
you.
I'll
Nah,
tell you what. Would you be willing to give us 4 or 5 states in Africa?
No, I'm talking about America. Let's
Oh,
keep it
America.
there. Don't coon. Don't coon. Keep it
You
on the
want us
white
to do
man
this?
here.
You don't want to
Don't
give us
coon.
4 or 5
No,
states in
no, no,
Africa, though.
no. Okay, listen, all right, we'll
can't.
have that conversation.
He
I'll
can't
answer that one. If you want to answer that, answer that. Listen,
because of tribalism. No one group owns anything.
listen. Let me just answer the brother
Nobody's
for a
in a
minute.
position to
No,
offer us
right, let
anything.
me just answer the brother a minute. He said, are we willing to do that in Africa? You damn right we're willing to. We got the land, but are you organized enough to go to the African Union and
You
ask?
just got a super chat.
What Dinah? You should
And
be
is she
reading
gonna read the super chat or you sleep, bro?
Yeah, he's sleeping. U.S. was
I'll
founded
read
by
it.
WASP. It's a
The
white
U.S.
nation.
was founded by WASP.
Yeah.
It's a white nation. Just because Crispus Attucks died in the American Revolution didn't replace or change the founders. So he was clearly listening to me because I brought up Crispus Attucks. So salute to the chat, right?
Okay, but you didn't answer the question. Why are you
Salute
not
to
fighting for your
JC.
home state?
And hit the
Why are you
like
not
button,
fighting
share, and
for your
I'll
home
subscribe,
answer you
y'all.
very simply. I'll answer you very simply,
Go
right?
ahead, brother.
There is a reason why America is the only Western nation on earth that has seen a black leader, right?
Oh,
That
please.
didn't. Can I finish?
Please.
Can I finish? You're triggered,
Please,
I
brother,
know,
please.
but you went a long time. Can I
Please. He
respond?
didn't do nothing for black people.
Can I
Because you
respond?
know he would have got his head shot
Can
if
I
he done it with the black
respond?
people.
And we'll talk about that after. Can I just finish my premise? Please. Please, brother, I want to talk to you. Right? So here's what I'm saying. We're the only nation in the Western world, right? In this colonialistic empire, right? That have literally put a black man at the head of office. There's a reason for that. It's because we didn't segment ourselves to one small area, right? We're spread out
That's
across
why you don't
America.
get no respect from other black people. Because you refuse to run
No,
your
we
own
get more
shit.
respect than you do.
Okay? You
Our
refuse
babies
to
can't
run
hear
your own
him.
starving.
shit. You want
Our
to be
babies
under
are
the
pre
nut
Hey,
like
diabetic.
bro,
white and
Our babies
bro.
eat way too well. We get respect. More
No,
respect than
no,
you and
brother.
your
You being
people.
cowardly. That's
If you want to
cowardly, bro.
crash out, let's
That's
crash out.
cowardly. I'm telling
See
you
how
why
y'all
you're
I
allow
do
him
cowardly.
to
more
play
FBA
both
than the best
sides on this
FBA.
panel?
You want to
Lewis, you
crash
should
out? Let's
One
crash
day
out.
he FBA,
Fuck
the
it.
Lewis, you
next
should have
second
more
he Pan
decorum
African.
as an elder, though,
No,
for
I'm
real.
trying to hold
Like,
back, but
you
this
should
is
have
like
more
a
Goofy.
decorum.
question, bro.
Because I'm coming to him in sincerity, good terms. I'm not trying to argue with him. I'm trying to kind of school him on our reality, right? So I
No,
get his
I
point.
get what you're saying,
I
bro.
get
Even if
his
I don't
point,
agree,
right?
yeah, I
I
get
get
what you're
his point.
saying.
We should segment ourselves and just take over something and just call it black, right? But what
But the thing,
Black Americans in our situation understood was that it was more beneficial to infuse ourselves in the overall makeup of America, right? That's why we get the success of being able to say we are the only country, right, that's put a black man in office. That didn't
Oh,
come from us segmenting ourselves off.
Bro, that's
We're
Barack
nothing to boast
ingrained in this
Obama.
about.
culture in
That's,
America,
in the bigger
right?
scheme of things, that's nothing to boast about. Okay? That was the
You
white
said
man give
what?
you that was the white man throwing you a little bone or something. Okay? That's
Yeah,
I
not
ain't got a little
bro.
bone.
bro.
Barack
My money
Obama's an
long.
embarrassment, man.
My
No,
money
Talking
man.
his weird
long.
shit.
When I
Come on.
went to Ghana, I tipped well. My money
Why didn't you
long.
stay there?
I'm doing well in America.
Why didn't you stay there,
You
sir?
never went to Ghana, man.
Shut your bitch ass up. I ain't stay there because
Why
you
didn't you
have no
stay there?
control. Because I have more control here than you do. That's
Why
why I
didn't you
didn't stay.
stay in Ghana? It
Because
has
I
all
have
that
more
beautiful
control
culture,
here
all
than
those
you do.
beautiful
That's why.
structures, all that beautiful history. Why didn't you stay there in
I
beautiful
just
Ghana?
told you. Because I have not only more
Sammy,
power than
have you ever
you,
been out of the country,
but
bro?
over most whites. I have more power than most whites economically.
I'm
I'm in a
asking,
better position than most white
Sammy
people
why
in
he's
America.
trolling, bro. Have you even been out of the
Yeah.
country, Sammy?
Who's
No, he ain't
Sammy?
never been nowhere.
You are.
It's like Uncle Sam?
In the high
Ain't your name Sam?
You know he ain't never been
No,
nowhere.
my name is the Man in the High Castle. But I like
All right.
Uncle Sam. That's awesome.
Your name is Sam, I thought. But go ahead, bro.
No, it's
Have you
the
been?
Man in the High Castle.
Okay, whatever, bro. Have you been out of the country?
Take your bad first.
Absolutely.
Where to where?
You took too
Been to
long. Where you want to
Mexico.
see me
You
at?
got caught that easy in a lie, bro.
I've been
That's
to
crazy.
Mexico. I've been
Where
to
you want
all
to see
those
me at?
countries. I've been to
All of them? That's a lie,
yep.
bro.
I've been to
Oh, you been
Iceland.
there?
Nah, you busted already,
You been
bro.
there?
I've been to
You
Iceland.
been at
I've been
Name
Chichen
to
Itza?
Canada.
name the city you went to in
Stop the
Iceland. I'm
cap.
curious.
Stop the
Reykjavik.
cap.
I don't
I'll
believe you.
walk you all
Yeah.
around the earth in my profile pics.
Yeah.
You're lying.
Yeah, he's
Right?
lying.
I've been I've been
That's
to these
Hawaii
places
right
that
there.
I've
Right?
been to
Where else you want to
Iceland.
go? You want
Uh,
to go to London? That's me in London. Right?
one last
Where else you
one.
want to go?
I've been to
Hey, yo, anybody know who Eric Adams is? Right? That's me
Adams,
with
yeah.
my arm around his neck like
I've
he
been
my
to
little
Sardinia.
homie. Yeah, I'm like that in America.
Man.
Bro, cut it out, Willie. Just stop.
So I've
Well,
been
I
to
be having
Italy,
the
obviously,
trash,
you
bro.
know.
I be trying to
That's
be
about
humble.
it.
Just stop.
Is that enough?
You got no pictures from
Why didn't you
Ghana?
stay there?
As I was a young kid at those times.
So
I
why didn't you stay?
It was just a
See how
vacation.
stupid that shit sounds?
Just a
See how
vacation.
stupid that shit sounds?
Just a
That's what you
vacation.
sound like.
Just a
That's what you
vacation.
sound like.
The young kid is
You know he
justification.
capping, bro.
Hey,
Yeah,
listen, can I ask you guys something? What's the weather like
it's
in
a stupid
America now?
argument.
I heard you guys are snowed in.
Nah, the snow melted.
So
About
when it
2
come
weeks ago.
down
You New
to
York?
segregation, there was millionaires in segregation, and there was millionaires in integration.
Nah, bro. I'm from New York. I'm from Harlem, right? But
Okay, is it
I
cold?
am
Yeah,
Yeah,
now
it's freezing
yuppie
there.
I
ass
am now
Harlem,
a black gentrifier. So
gentrified
I'm
Harlem, yuppie.
gentrifying white HOAs, right?
Now
Trying to
you
bring
are.
in as many black folk as I can, right?
No, you're not. You have no control over
I'm a black
Mandani. Mandani
gentrifier.
running
Now I got a
shit
lot of
to the
control.
ground.
I
You
built
about
my
to
home
flee out
from the
New York.
ground
You
up.
about to flee New York. You know it.
You looking toward the ground. I built my
You
home from
about
the
to flee
ground
New
up.
York. Sharia laws out there
Hey,
in New
I heard
York.
that.
You know
I heard
that.
that man Danny might do what they call it, city to city with a crowd, whatever it's called. What they call it? When a
I ain't
city
got
I
no
go
issue
to.
with Mondani.
Cause he's one of
He
them.
actually
Yeah.
went to my
He
high
lived
school.
there before. He was
He
adopted.
actually, the high school that Mondani went to, it
Uh-huh.
actually produced Stokely Carmichael. Fun fact.
Okay.
That's my high
Okay.
school. Yeah.
No,
I'm
he
like
lived in
that.
Ghana. He lived in Ghana for
My
Africa.
friends,
You're
my
not like
friends are
that, bro. You don't
congressmen.
even go outside, bro. Stop that.
Yeah. I'm
Now I
like
look
that.
at that snow, I get scared, man. New York, Canada, forget that, bro.
New York is full of beta males, man. You know that. Stop and frisk created beta males.
So
You
who's
And where
always
somebody
see
else
you
on
you
my
you
mic
see
now?
you see New York.
and where
You
you
see New
from?
York how they deal with the police out
And
there.
where you
What they
from?
always tell the police to do to them.
And where you from?
Who's that?
Damn sure not New York.
I know.
All right,
Right?
soft
But you're
hitting
Canada,
New
not
you live
York.
in
man
Canada.
enough to stand on where
New
you from.
York's so soft.
I'm
You know it. Your
proud I'm
women are
from
always
Harlem.
fleeing from New York.
Right? Where I'm from, we
Your women
dictate
are
black
fleeing from New
culture.
York. You
We
call
are the
AS.
heart
You
of
call
black culture,
ACS on
wherever
your
I'm
baby
from.
mama. You
Queen
call up
Mother Moore,
AS.
Queen
You
Mother
call up
Moore kick
ACS on
lint
your
out
baby
my
mama
hair.
because she fled from New
You'll
York.
never have that
Got a
experience.
real brother. You know that.
And what's down is sleeping?
Let them sleep. Let the show go
Yeah,
on.
Don, it's just time to close up, man.
Nah, chill. Let's
Yeah.
cook.
If y'all can't stick to the topic, bro, and at least try to
Yeah.
mention some things that's
What's the
like,
name of the
you know what I
topic,
mean?
sir?
It's no point in him just trolling and just
What's
arguing
the
and
name of
coming
the
up with
topic, sir?
nonsense.
You
One more
right, bro.
time
I
from the top.
tried.
Black man
I
laws of Pan
tried, bro.
Africans for moving to Africa. Here's why.
Hey
All right,
guys,
so
let me
you
read this
start. You start
super chat real
first.
quick.
Yeah.
You
Let
So
me
he
start
read
laughed
first.
at
JC. Thank you
specific
for
points.
499
There was
holla.
specific.
I'm reading money. You guys got to be quiet. JC, thank you for 499 holla. U.S. was founded by WAPs.
I
It's
read
a
that
white
one.
nation. Just because Crispus Attucks died in the American Revolution didn't change the founders. Okay, thank you.
I read that one. I'm the one that brought up Crispus Attucks, so I understood where he was going with that. I just don't think people accept how well some blacks in America are doing, right? That's the fallacy.
We've been
Many of
doing
us,
well economically since segregation. Millionaires popping off in segregation. Millionaires were popping off in slavery, bro.
well, not we, because me and you are
Yeah,
two different people.
there was free
You're
brothers and
FBA,
sisters
I'm
who
African
turned
American.
millionaires while slavery was still
Yeah,
happening.
but that's
No, there
not your
weren't. There were no
people.
black
Do you
slaves
understand?
in
Yeah, there
slavery.
was. What you
No, those are
talking about,
African
bro?
Americans,
You
Get the
brother.
hell
bugging.
out of here.
You
Those are
bugging.
African Americans.
You're bugging. You're on a high or something. There
Like
were
I
no
always take
millionaires
y'all
on
back to the
You
A&M
bugging,
church in
bro.
the
There was
1800s, right?
free brothers and sisters who
My
turned
people
millionaires
identified
while slavery was still
themselves.
going on.
Name them.
Yeah,
Name them.
they weren't FBA.
Yeah, they
My
were.
ancestors
Name them.
were
Name
the
them people.
AME church,
Name the first
right?
couple
Oh yeah.
millionaires that was going on at that time.
Madam C.J. Walker.
I knew you were
During
gonna say that.
slavery, I knew he was gonna
That's
say
one
that
of them.
too.
That was
That's one
after.
of them.
Come on, man. It
I
gets
already talked about Alexander
What year?
Actually,
Manley. I
What year
know
did he
none of
become a
y'all know
millionaire?
about him.
even
I
Solomon
talked about
Northrop, he was
Alexander
a
Manley.
millionaire,
can
and
I
he
ask
was
you guys?
freed while slavery was still going on,
Hey,
and then he
can
became a slave. He
can
was
I
a
ask you guys a
millionaire
question?
at that time.
Listen. What's the phenomenon, right, of people like
I'm
Diana
Big
Ross,
Boule.
okay,
Talk to the Boule.
turning their
What you want to
family
know,
into pure
Louis?
white people, all right? Phenomenon of Diana Ross and the likes turning their future race into pure white people. Do you think the future of America looks like Brazil?
No.
Okay.
I think the future of America looks like Mexico.
No, the future, yeah, Yeah,
That's the
that's
white
the
man's biggest fear, that every senator is going to have a Z in their last name.
it's well,
Sanchez, Lopez,
well
Rodriguez,
they can't get away from that. Even here in Europe, they can't get away from it. The big fight
AOC,
here,
Cortez, right?
the same argument going on here in England, but luckily I won't be here to look at it for much longer.
It ain't the
That's the
same.
problem.
Where you going? Where you going, Lewis?
Straight back to the continent, brother.
Okay.
I was
I'm
meant to
going
be
to
there. I was meant to
Guadalajara,
be
bro.
there in about 2 weeks' time, but it's a little
Yo,
delay.
bro, I'm retiring
Okay,
in
cool.
Guadalajara.
Guadalajara. Is
Yeah.
this Kwame?
While all the Mexicans is coming this way, I'm going that way.
Yeah, you be looking at Mexican women, bro.
Yeah.
When you going to the
Nah, it ain't about
continent?
the women. I'm married, bro. Don't put that smut on my name.
Okay.
When
Me
you
and
going
my
to the
wife are
continent,
going.
Willie?
Huh?
When you going to the continent?
So
Good
so
question.
I've been to Ghana, right? The next
Okay.
trip
I
I
said
really want
when,
to
bro.
do. Huh?
So he's been there
I
already.
said when are you going?
I've already been, right?
So you're not going back?
I had an amazing experience in Ghana.
When
I
do
want
you
to
go?
go
What year?
back. I want to
What
go
year?
back and go to Senegal next.
Okay.
Right.
Who you gonna go with? Dinus? Dinus got a nice
Uh,
truck for you.
I'm going with my wife. We
So,
travel the
Oh,
world.
okay.
Malidoma Some, the brother, Dagara brother from Burkina Faso, he passed away. He had his wife, Sombamfu. I know you guys, he's pretty well known. I don't know if you guys heard of him. He wrote several books.
Know the man.
Where's he from?
Burkina Faso. He's
Okay.
from the Dagara people.
Uh-huh.
So he wrote a book, but he lectured in Harlem in the 90s. He's done
Oh, good.
several lectures in Harlem back in the early
At the
90s.
Schomburg.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with
So
you, bro.
okay. So
I know
he
my
said,
history.
okay,
Man,
I'm
so
shut
proud
up,
of it.
man.
what
I've
he
been to
said was,
Schomburg. It's a nice library, though.
yeah, it's a nice library. So what he said though is that he went back home, and now he's deep in the religion, in his spirit, in his tradition, and he said that he went to these caves where the ancestors, dwell or whatever, and he had this experience where the ancestors actually, I want to say there was a physical appearance of them, but they gave him a message, and they told him to tell the people that the brothers and sisters in the diaspora, and I don't know if he said the United States specifically, are going to return Exodus back to Africa in mass. And so this was a prophecy that came to him, and he's sharing this with folks in Harlem, that this is what happened. And so as we're more and more we're moving to the continent, it reminds me every now and then of what he said.
Yeah.
But so, brother,
So,
I'll put it to you
we're
like
gonna
this,
go back to
right?
the wilderness before we go to
Real
the
quick,
real.
I'll put it to you like
So we
this,
leave it
right?
back in
When we became our own people, when our ethnogenesis happened, right, was when we became the Negro problem, right? And white folk wanted to ship us back to Liberia or Sierra Leone or wherever they could send us, right? Most Black Americans, the overwhelming majority of my ancestors said, nah, I'm good. I'm going to figure it out right here. I'm going to play the blues in Mississippi. I'm going to get on a train car and go to Harlem and go to Small's Paradise, right? At that point, we became somewhat disconnected from the continent. We always still had reverence for where we came from. That's why when Black people were defining themselves, 1800s, you get the African Methodist Episcopal Church, right? So I'm saying that decision was made a long time ago. Most of us are not going back to
Got
right.
it.
live.
All right. Having
Got it.
said that, having
So
said
can
that,
I
But
respond?
we're
Can I
not
respond?
against
Our
commerce.
you're not
grandparents
being that
would
bad in
always
America,
tell
then.
to us, we not African. You have to understand that.
Right.
And
Listen.
another thing, our grandparents and our great grandparents, they would have told us, hey, our ancestral name in Africa, these are our cousins. This is
How
their
would they know that?
names.
They couldn't. They were forced
Exactly.
out of it. They
There is
couldn't
no
Right.
do it.
such thing of that. We were
Well,
But
always
we
here.
knew where we were from.
there is such
We were
thing as
already name your African ancestor.
so
We
there
knew
are
where we
such
were
things
Easing
from.
out of it.
Who's
as
your African
people.
ancestor, sir?
There are such things as people that I have met in California who told me their grandmother spoke, an older elderly woman told me this. spoke an African language. A brother
Tiffany
that's my
Haddish
age
told you
from
this shit.
From Louisiana. Her grandmother was from Louisiana. She
Go.
spoke an African language.
Go.
Another brother my age uh, told me that his grandmother, he's from New Orleans, and he grew up there till he was 14 and moved to Arizona. He said his grandmother told him, "Don't ever forget that we come from the Congo."
Correct.
Okay, and
That's where the
then in
Gullah
my
people are from.
family, there was never any talks about any Indians that I knew. I talked to my sister the other day
Correct.
about it. There was, she said, yeah, there was a little talk of Indians, but then my sister did the DNA. My older sister did the DNA test, and she had 1%, 1 or 2% Native American.
Right.
So, boom. Now, my mother does talk about stuff that her grandmother did in Opelousas, Louisiana, and she was born in the late 1800s. And the stuff that she did points to not Native American at all. Points
Right.
to African things that she did. So
That's our
even though
history.
they may not have said they were African or Indian, but they did say they did certain things. And now we look at those things and we can say, oh, okay, your clothes is on backwards, it's Buddha Baye. Or you go to sleep, you what do they say? You go do do. That's what the Haitians I think say. Go go to sleep.
Yeah,
I
we
So
get
say
down the hill.
there's these little things that if we look at these things and we know the kinds of stuff that we know, okay, this is the region that we're from. We know that they took Africans from this
Right.
part of Africa to this region. We can start putting two and two together. But we're not doing that because we don't study. And we
Well,
don't ask the old people shit either. We don't talk to the old people and get information from them. Now a lot of them is gone.
so here's the reality, brother. We have done that, right? We know our history, many of us, right? But we are at a time in 2026 where, unfortunately, because of current political issues, right? And when I'm talking politics, I'm talking black politics, right? Our interactions with our own. Many of us are now shaking that African lineage off. And it's
Right.
unfortunate.
That's the problem. Pause right
It's
there.
unfortunate.
That's the problem. Pause right there. Okay.
Well, no, that's not the
This
problem.
is what gives you away. This is what gives you away because the main thing you go for is to make sure you cut yourself off from Africa. I don't have a problem if you want to do that.
So, brother, that's
This
not
is what we
true.
Pan Africans have a problem with. You don't mind anything else, but the word Africa, and that's
So,
what the
brother, that's
slave
not
master wanted
true,
to do,
though.
and
Nah,
you're carrying
bro.
out the slave master's wishes.
The
Here's the
majority of
problem.
us are not
Here's
doing
the
that
problem
though.
and why you're being so unbelievably disrespectful to me
Am I
and
being
to my mother and
disrespectful?
father, right?
Why is
I'm
it
gonna
that
explain
every
it.
time? Why is it that everything else you want to get rid? You want to keep but the African?
So again,
Why is it
let
that
me
the word
explain to
Africa
you.
disgusts you
Let
so
me,
much?
so understand who you talking to, right? I
No.
was taught.
You just
I was
expressing who
slow
I'm
down.
talking to.
Slow
I'm just
down. Hear
asking
me
a
out.
simple question.
Hear me out.
Anybody want to tune? I don't mind, no problem,
So, all
right?
right, let
But
me
the thing is,
respond.
why
My
do you go
mother
out
and
your way to
father,
preserve the
my
one?
Louis,
mother
let
and
him give his
father.
answer at least, bro.
Listen, I'm gonna express my point out because he's gonna skip around it.
You
But you're
asked him why
wrong,
does he
though,
want to
bro.
disassociate, so we'll hear what his answer
Why
is.
is it
Right.
always Africa you want to disassociate from?
So it's never been my goal to disassociate from Africa. I don't understand how you missed that in all my commentary today. I
That's
know
why I
Bro,
said
where my
hold on, Willie.
people.
Before you hold on.
Go ahead.
Bro, explain why you just said the part specifically, bro. Don't go into a
Go
spiel.
ahead.
The
I
part
got
why
you.
you said they want to shake that part off. Just answer that.
Unfortunately, this is what I'm gonna say the reality is, right? 2026, when you look at relations between Black Americans and Africans from the continent, there isn't a connection. That connection has been lost, right? Many Black Americans are upset, disenchanted that we've always been taught to believe in Pan-Africanism. And when many of us fought, right? I'm not going to go into the details, but we fought to open up the doors of America to bring our brothers in because we thought it would benefit our fight. That's not what happened, right? So now everybody's being led by YouTube. So once you hear one African coon, right? We talked about the coon word, right? It only takes one to say, my parents told me not to deal with Black Americans. Black Americans are lazy. Black Americans, Black Americans, Black Americans, right? The reality is, for men like myself who have attained something in life, who can look down on white folk, let alone Africans. I ain't even thinking about y'all, right? Like I'm competing here in America, right? It does create an angst, right? To see these things online and the rhetoric that's being said. And it also becomes an issue with our parents. Y'all
Okay,
told
so
us,
you
hold
saying a
on, and I'm gonna
lot.
land here. I'm gonna
Okay,
land
you
here.
saying a lot.
Y'all told us, right, to be
Hey,
Pan-African.
guy, we got to pass the mic. The good king. Go ahead, good king.
Can I just finish the point
Yeah,
though,
bro, we gotta
Santonio?
Yeah,
stop beating around the bush.
we got the point. Go ahead, good king.
Can you hear me, bro?
I hear you. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
We
There was
gotta
one
stop beating
important
around the
thing I
bush,
didn't get
bro.
to
It don't
say,
matter.
family. It was
Hold up,
one
bro. It don't matter
sentence.
how much money you make in America as a black man. Until we control some territory here, none of that shit matters. You ain't Bob
Amen.
Johnson. You ain't
That's
Skip
crazy.
Gates. You ain't got more
Amen.
money than them, and they still go through the same shit we go through. As long as the white
Amen,
man
brother.
got the numbers, he gonna control the government, the resources, and everything else here, bro. That
That's
shit
not
does
my
not matter.
reality,
None of that
brother.
shit you was talking about. That's
That's not
the
my
reality
reality,
for our
brother.
race, bro, and our ethnic group.
Yep.
As
Ain't
an
no. I
individual,
have a
Willie, you
white
may be
caddy
doing
named
good.
Joshua.
You might be doing good
That's
as
not
an
my reality.
individual, Willie. I
We're
know,
not talking about
not
your
your reality
reality as an individual. We're
as an
talking about our
individual.
ethnic group reality,
Collective.
bro.
Right. That's a
Collective.
difference. It's a difference. And also you said a lot, Willie. You said a lot. You're very dense. You talk very densely with a lot of information. And I just want to say that in the context of the big picture, that there's not a lot of Pan-Africanists among the 50 million or whatever we are. There's a very small amount of
In
us. So when you say
2026, I agree.
I'm saying at any time period when I was young, now I would say maybe when Garvey was really popular at his highest, then yes, you that at that point there was a lot of Pan Africanists if you were a Garveyite. So yeah, at that point. But as time has gone down, as time has gone on, the more educated we are, the more miseducated we are, and I think that when people are ignorant and don't know, it makes it easy to trigger, to kind of make them trigger one way or the other or bias in one way or the other by somebody saying something ignorant. But at the same time, most of the 40, 50 million of us don't know about these arguments and don't know about these
I
problems.
agree.
They don't really care one way or the other in many cases, or they will see a black person and say, oh, that's a black person, and will identify with them as such. So even my other brother who's saying, why do y'all, do no, that's not y'all. All of us are not FBAs or even in that mindset.
Correct.
This is a small amount of us.
And we have to fight
Hey,
back.
bro.
We literally have to fight back domestically in terms of our identity here in America, right? I'm not FBA, right? I can track my lineage back to the 1700s right here in America, right? I'm African American.
Mm-hmm.
My
That's
people
what I want.
defined themselves a long time ago. And what actually happened when everybody asked, are you Igbo? Are you Hausa? Do you know what you're connected to? No, I don't. What ended up happening was my people became their own people. So I'm African American. That is my Igbo.
Yeah.
That is my
Yeah.
Hausa,
Yeah.
right?
And that's the ethnic group we respect.
So why
Okay,
was
that's
you
the ethnic
crashing
group
out
we
on me?
respect.
Because we still need our own nation. Yorubas and Igbos got Nigeria. No matter how bad we look at it, they had their own nation.
I
Senegalese
got
got
you.
Senegal. Haitians got Haiti. The African Americans don't have an African American nation.
That's 100% correct. But look at the reality, right? African Americans, because of our connection with America, we doing better. You can't name nobody doing better
Bro,
than
listen.
us.
Everything you do is under the control of the white man. He can shut you
No,
off.
that's not true, brother.
You're not making more money than
That's
Kanye West.
absolutely true, bro. We don't control none of the oil
That's
reserves. We
like me
don't control the
saying,
shipping here, bro. We don't
that's
control
like me
any
saying that,
resources.
but wait,
If the
that's
white
like me
man gets sick,
saying,
we get sick, bro.
This is it. All you
but
need is
hold
a
on.
racist man in power like that guy who got shot, whatever his name is, and then who's the guy that pitched the Hedgeworth or whatever? You can just look at that guy and tell he's a fucking Nazi. God damn! I mean, you go and look at Rubio, racist white people. You just have to look at their face.
This is the
You
unfortunate part,
happy to sit
Lewis.
under that?
Lewis, this is the unfortunate part, right? If I was to cast judgment on the continent and all the dysfunction there, I would sound like FBA, right? I could. There's a litany of things I could criticize.
I
Right.
know. You
So
We
brother,
can
you have
wait,
to be
wait,
criticize
wait.
Africa
Hear
till
me
we
out.
blue in the
Hear me
face.
out.
That don't
Hear
give
me out.
us power, though,
Hear
bro.
me out. Hear me out. So, and I agree with you. That's why I don't do that. But when someone's telling me everything I do as a black man is under the guise of white supremacy, that's just wrong. I can tell
That's a
you in
fact.
2000,
bro, it's a
I
fact.
can tell you, and I'll land here, right? I can tell you just anecdotal experience in my life, right? I'm at a dinner for, the top salespeople. So the white boys finally amped themselves up to come ask me the question, why is your team all black, right? I turned around and looked at them and said, I don't know. I guess for the same reason your team is all white. The point I'm making is, in this American conversation, my name ring bells. I don't know about nobody else, right? But I am not subjugated. I am not in any way in the position that my ancestors were in. Why? Because they fought to put me where I am. And I'm winning. My ancestors are winning through me. It's not
So
as bad over here as people might think. I do very well in life.
when we talk about how we do as individuals, is that the same as
Not
us
about
talking about being
individuals, bro.
Pan-Africanists and about us doing things when we talking these collective group things, and now you're talking about how well you do? It's a very
Got you.
different conversation.
Got you. So that was a good question, right? Here's what
Bro,
I'm saying.
bro,
What I'm
bro, listen,
saying is my reality is still a part of Pan-Africanism. So
brother,
what am
listen,
I doing, right?
brother,
Like I
listen.
told you, when them white boys came to me, they asked me, why did I only hire niggas? N-words. My bad. I'll send it $2. My bad.
No,
Right?
hold on, Will. It's 10, and you didn't send a 10 from last
All
time.
right, I'll send. I did so send my
No,
last
you
10.
did not, Will. Will, you
I
did
did
not.
so send my last 10.
No, you did not. No,
I'll
you did
give
not,
you the
Will.
date, Dinus. Don't do that, but I'll
No,
send
no.
this
Okay,
10.
give me the date. Give me the date. Give me the date.
I'll look it
In
up, but I'll send
fact,
this 10.
in fact, before you start speaking again, because you got over the last time, please send this. Please send it.
All right, cool.
Listen.
And
Let me
we
just
can get it there.
right. Let me just throw something in right quickly, and don't get upset about this, brother.
And then I want to get back to what I
Right.
was saying. But
Okay,
I
send it
will
10.
just
You
say,
get back. You can get back to cooking.
right,
Send it 10.
the Jackson family are one of the most successful in Black history, let alone America. Successful. I look at all the kids of Mike, and you
all
trying
right,
to
it says
tell me
tariff.
that
All right.
all that wealth is gonna go to white folks. I mean, come on, is that the future?
That doesn't define us, my brother.
No, bro, I'm sorry. That's the top of the tree, brother.
No,
What do you
it's
mean?
not. I
Bro,
can
I'm
give you
glad you say don't
someone.
define
I
you, but
can give
listen,
you someone that
let me tell you
made.
something.
I
When
can
you
give
talk
you
about success,
someone that made more
when you
money than
talk about
Michael
success,
Jackson that
bro,
has a black wife, right? LeBron
listen to me,
James,
bro.
right? That don't apply to
Listen,
LeBron, right? If we're
I understand that,
shooting up
LeBron
here,
still got a white boss, bro.
here we
bro.
At the
go.
end of the day,
You know that the Brazilian experiment is very much real. You know,
Did you
Brazil was
get
an
my money,
experiment.
Dinus?
Receive, but you still
All right.
$10 short. But we'll talk about that. We'll
No,
worry
I'm
about that
not. I
later.
paid that.
No, you didn't, dude. No, you didn't. No, you didn't, Willie. No, you didn't.
Check your cash app, Dinus, to see.
I'm checking
Uh,
right now. He didn't pay it. He lying. Willie's lying.
But Willie, you talk about how well you're doing, but if you compare yourself to the top, white folks that are in this country, as opposed to just the average
Hold
American.
on. I apologize. He did. I'm sorry, Willie. You're right.
Okay,
You're
Willie.
right,
Okay,
Willie.
so you
Okay, we're gonna.
reprieve.
Don't pay Dinus no mind. Go ahead, brother.
that that the top white folks in this country that are making money own a large amount of the wealth of the world, as opposed to what we may be doing good amongst our own people or amongst the average American.
Right.
And so, or even the average African in the world, how much what you're doing. So when you compare to what is the top in the top of the top, you're not kicking high at all.
I agree 100%, right? But here's the thing, right? When I'm competing against the mass of whiteness in America, right? You can't take away from me. I'm outdoing 80% of them, right? That's progress,
bro.
right?
You're
This
not. You're
isn't,
not. Stop it.
hold on.
Stop. You're not.
Yo, do you know what the average American makes?
Tell us.
What is it, like 65 grand?
That's probably the average.
Right.
Same
That's a
money.
bonus for me, right? That's an annual bonus, right? So I'm not saying that to brag. I'm
What
just
color is
saying
the
that,
CEO of your company, bro?
white.
Okay, well, I rest my fucking case, dude. Like, what are we talking about?
So here's the problem, right? When you think like that,
He knows
right?
that. He knows that.
Here's the problem though. When you think like that, you don't understand how America works, right? And you don't understand how other races attain power. Understand this, right? The highest grossing males in America are Asians. Guess what? They work for white CEOs too, but they're doing extremely well here. See, I'm not going to let y'all beat down my success. That was my point earlier, right?
But it's not about you.
It's
You
not about
comparing your
you.
It's
success
not
to the
about
success
you.
of
It's
40
about
million
us.
people, bro.
It's about us. And
I
real
got you.
power is when you run shit, when you run your schools and run your community, your city council,
Facts.
that's the real power.
I
And
got you.
own the business. When you own the business and can hire other motherfuckers, that's real power.
Stop right there.
Can
That's the
I,
position I'm in.
Dennis,
Hold
when you
on.
get an
Stop. Hold on. Real
opportunity,
quick.
bring me in.
Well, hold
Okay.
on. Will, he got 30 seconds. Then I gotta let Jagoon
Right.
go.
So
Then we'll
let's
close
stop
out.
right there, right? That's the thing. I am in that position, right? I just told you the story of white boys asking me, why do you only hire blacks? I'm saying before we get to that point that we control everything, if that's ever possible, I'm making progress right now, right? And I am affecting other black lives. That's Pan-Africanism, right? When I see Tyrone's name or Walmart Tavius or Ogun or whoever, right? I'm hiring you first, right? That's Pan-Africanism.
That's a good thing, brother.
That's us helping us,
That's a good thing.
right?
You know, but we want you
So
to
my
own the
success
company, though.
isn't just tied to me.
We want you to own the company, though.
I mean,
And then we want to own the land that your storefront is on.
At least your own
We
state.
want a nation.
Guys, let me pass it to Jagoon. Go ahead, Jagoon.
Good evening, crowd of people. I've been listening for a long time, as I do. I'm not always wanting to come on because it can be a bit heated at times. Not that I can't deal with the heat, but I always like for these kind of platform to behave as a teaching level, that we are offering something of value to our listeners. Now, in my listening to everybody here, I find that we're not speaking about the subject of Pan-Africanism and FBAism and the confusion that FBAism has brought to the table for the Black World Congress, if you like.
I denounce it.
Good.
I'm with you.
Now, in listening, when we're speaking on an individual level, what we've achieved and what we've been able to do in the Western world is good enough. But you see, if you compare, as I was told by my uncle when I was a child, if you compare any one black person to any other ethnicity in the world, one-on-one, a black man will beat them hands down at anything. When you compare a group of black people to a group of nearly anybody else in the world, we lose out. This is our issue. So when we're speaking on this silly, I'm afraid to say, individualistic level, where we are not seeing the wood for the trees. We're not seeing the wood for the trees. You see, there are a lot of Africans who go to America. Apparently, the Nigerians are the number one ethnicity in terms of education in America, in terms of
That's
certain
not
wealth.
true.
Well, okay, this is what they said. This is
But
what
they're
I've heard.
doing well. They're
Can I?
doing well.
They're there, bruv. They're there because they're
Yeah, they're
there.
doing well. I agree.
Please don't interrupt unnecessarily.
I'm agreeing with you. Go ahead.
That's still an interruption. Now, I'm listening, as I said, and in my listening, we're not coming together, and we can't seem to understand that we're not coming together.
Correct.
We need to come together, and in our togetherness, we have to tell ourselves the truth. We can't just be depicting ourselves as individuals. It's a more of a delineation, as we like to depict these days, than a collectivism. Collectively, we've got a job to do. We've got work to do.
There are people complaining about the state of Africa and how it's underdeveloped. Yes, we know it's underdeveloped. Yes, we know we need development. Yes, we understand that there's corruption in the land that keeps us underdeveloped. So those who are first movers, those who have bravity, those who have skills and can come into Africa and set a new standard, we welcome that. Those who want to complain and drag us back, fuck off. Just go away. Why are you coming to the table to speak idiotic disputes that don't alleviate our position? You see, we're always having the wrong conversation. We're having a conversation, it's coming like wanking, if you know that word as Americans. It's coming like that. We're just talking ourselves off. We're supposed to be becoming strong. But you see, in listening to a man like Willie, I'm afraid, my brother, you don't seem to appreciate where we are in the world as a collective. You as an individual, you can be as big as you wish, but if you cannot affect change amongst the masses, then you do only for yourself. You
But I
don't.
am though.
Wait, let me land. Let me land. I'm not saying that working for somebody is a bad thing. You know, we need to create capital. But me as an individual, if I want to compare myself with you in this UK that I'm in, I haven't worked for anybody for 30 years. I haven't worked for anybody because I've understood the system I'm in, and I've understood how to create money and how to create wealth. And in this, I bring my people together. But my ideology is Africa. My ideology is Africa. In that, I know that when I get on a plane and I go to Africa, the plane is now full of Europeans, of Chinese, and of people from different spheres. I was a minority on the plane on my way to Nigeria the last time I went. And I was just looking around at the kinds of foreigners that were coming in. And the kinds of foreigners who were coming were strictly ordinary people. When I was a youth and I used to go to Nigeria with my parents back home, I was seeing only the elite of the European. I wasn't even seeing any other ethnicity apart from the European and largely black people, Nigerians specifically. So in this, I'm thinking, what's going on? What's happening? What's happening is that the world is looking for Africa, apart from the Africans. Apart from the Africans, this is a statement of fact. Now, Africa has made a tumultuous amount of errors. I will be the first to tell you that. I'll be the first. In our errors, we have learned a lot. Many of us, not all of us, many of us. This creates an opportunity to galvanize our spirits, our minds, our energies. If we are not for that kind of push, drive towards changing our own state for our own selves, then I'm afraid we are all here dragging ourselves down. We are all here complaining about things that other people aren't complaining about. When I listen to the emotional imbalance that African Americans, FBA particularly, have, I'm ashamed, because what it is that you are so emotive, you can't be spoken to.
Who's you?
Whoever complete this is why I'm saying there was a guy earlier from England. I think.
Yeah. I got you.
I think it was Ghanaian. He said that the Lebanese have been coming into certain parts of Africa and winning, and they go to the depths of where there is money. That's where they go, and wherever it is, the desert, the interland, the place without electricity, the place without road, they go there. Meanwhile, African Americans are, oh, it's not comfortable. Oh, is there running water? Oh, rubbish. All you're dealing with is your soft life that white people are giving you in the Americas and anywhere else in the world that you would like to think of.
This is when you've gotten disrespectful.
Well, my brother, if you let me land.
Disrespectful. How's that disrespectful, brother?
I'm just playing that they lands.
Bro, yeah, let me land. This is what I'm saying. You guys are so soft, so weak, so tender. Everything is disrespect. You can't be spoken to, is what I'm saying. You can't be spoken to. The truth cannot come out for you. The truth is too much for you. And for those kinds of people, stay in America. Stay there, deal with the American.
Did we lose him?
Jagun?
Yeah, because
Still
I'd
here.
love to respond to that, but I'm going to wait till he lands. Jagun, you there?
Let me
Go
land,
ahead.
please.
Yes,
There
sir.
is no African tethering with Americans. The thing that Africans have for the Black Americans is a level of misunderstanding. I'll give you that. But it's still a level of respect in what you've been able to achieve over the last 400 years. Whether you like it or not, we respect that. We as Africans respect what the Black American has done for the Black world in its entirety. You understand? But because you people in the ghetto are so soft and weak, everything is affecting you. You can't think. You're not thinking. All you're doing is speaking about your idiotic selves. That's not good enough, my brother. Me
All right, let me
personally, I'll
respond to you.
respond in a minute. Me personally, I cannot respect that. I cannot respect your weakness because it doesn't strengthen me. Your weakness does not strengthen me. You understand? What strengthens me is the what Africans, Americans have been able to establish in a country full of foes, in a country where they have enmity all around them. They have enemies. Yet still, your enemies seem to be you're closer to you than those who look like you. I land there for the moment.
All right, so I do want to respond to that, right? Here's the reality, right?
The reality,
To
why I said was not a reality.
hold on.
You're laughable.
Hold on. To
Yes,
your
sir.
criticism of African Americans, right? Here's our reality, right? We live in a global society now, right? I can literally, as the Black American in the place where I'm in, and with the conglomerate of other Black men like myself, we can choose to invest anywhere in the world we want, right? So now, for all of your angst towards me and how you don't respect me as a
No,
Black American,
I'm
hold on,
not
let me
dealing with
land, let me
individuals.
land. I
No,
didn't say a word when you were
I was going
speaking,
to be
bro.
quiet, but
I didn't
you are
say a
now.
word when you were speaking, bro.
You said many words. Shut up. Don't be silly. Don't
Talk some
lie.
more.
Don't lie.
Hey, Jagoon, we can't. I mean, come on, man. Tell another
No, but
man.
I don't want someone lying. I said a rounded thing,
Tell
and
the
he's
man.
telling me that I was disrespecting him as an individual. I was not. I was telling
Yes.
you about your
He
four.
said the ghetto. He doesn't
I am
respect
telling
folks
you
in the ghetto.
those things were disrespectful to me. Now, if you are this brother that you claim that I should work with going forward, you should respect the fact that I'm simply saying to you, right? I didn't crash out. I said, I found
Whatever that
what you
means.
just said disrespectful, right? So, what I'm not going to do is crash out and tell you about your country, right? What I'm going to do is crash out and tell you about my success. And with my success and the success of Blacks like myself, right? Many of us are doing extremely well right here, right? So we
Good.
don't have to go back anywhere. My
No, you don't.
focus,
And we
let me
still gotta
finish,
pay
let me
taxes to
finish.
the white man. That's what you not
Can I
understanding, brother. We
finish?
can do all make all the money
Can I
here. We
finish?
still gonna have to pay taxes to this
So I
white
can't
government,
finish.
bro.
What does that mean? They're
Go
paying
ahead.
taxes in
That
Africa
mean we
to
not
France.
in control.
They're paying taxes in Africa to France.
So land. Go ahead and land, Willie,
Most of them
so the
use
next person can
Frankish,
go.
right?
What are you talking
Currencies.
about, bro? We're
Here's
not
the
all
reality, right? You can have all the lack of respect for me that you want.
Thank you.
You are not on my radar. I have the fortunate position of being an American.
Oh
I
my
can
God.
look down on earth, even as a Black man, right? I can look down on earth. I don't need none of you, right?
What does that
I
mean?
can determine my own way in this world, right? So
You a
when you want
radical
to
integrationist,
understand,
bro. You're not a Pan African.
hold on, I
So
want to say
can I
something
respond
important.
after you finish? Go ahead,
I want
Willie.
to say
Finish.
something important,
Can you
right?
land, please, Willie?
And get started. Y'all didn't ask Ogun to land. Like, I didn't
Hey,
even get
brother,
started.
You
listen,
didn't just get started. You've
Someone
been.
else can go, and
brother,
I'll go
you
after
might,
everyone has
No, go
brother,
spoken.
ahead and land,
listen,
Willie. Go ahead and land.
listen, brother,
Let
you
Willie
might have
land.
the
Let
cash,
Willie land.
brother, you might have the cash, but you can't cash in your face. Those are the words from brother Stevie Wonder, and you ain't got more money than him, brother.
So if I can go, then I would just say, Willie, it was a little condescending, the spirit in which you presented. I would say that it's not easy to get criticism, even though someone may have a little bit of a twangy nastiness on it, a little bit.
Can I go
I
next,
know
bro?
I know you felt that, but
Nice.
but there is some constructiveness in that criticism, and to be free from resentment and receiving and say, okay, I hear what you're saying. And because I do hear what he's saying, although I would have something to say about it. And for me, the most constructive thing to say is that we've got a lot of work to do on this side with educating our people, our brothers and sisters in the ghetto. As well, we have a lot of work to do on the continent, because I think the bigger danger than FBAs in the United States is the people that are running the continent now, the black folks, the leadership that is corrupt, that is doing the damage for Pan-Africanism. That's a bigger hindrance than FBAs in the United States, the
Now let us talk.
5,000 FBAs in the United States for
Some of us in those
Pan-Africanism.
positions are Pan African.
No. That was
Let us
firstly, we
work.
have to really commend that
Well, hold on. Let Shaw speak. Because as Red, have you spoken yet, Red?
brother who just spoke. I commend what you said. I really do. You're somebody who listens.
Hold on, John. I'm asking him. Red,
Yeah.
let me just go, Red. Red.
Can I speak after Red, Dinus?
Red. You there, Red? Okay, Red's not there.
All right. So without being interrupted, right?
Okay,
Again,
I acquiesce.
Shaw's still speaking. Go ahead, Shaw.
Thank you for letting me submit. I'll land right there.
Hold on, Red. Are you there,
Yeah.
Red?
Yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead,
You hear
Red.
me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, brother.
Unmute yourself, Red.
Okay, yeah. Well, one thing I gotta say is, man, yeah, we do got a lot of catching up to do as, Black Americans, FBAs, whoever you want to call us. But the truth is, if you live in America, you're doomed. This is just not our problem. Why do you think the white tea man want to control? Because it spread it like crack. Everything they do to us is spread. It's going to happen to the Muslim woman that comes to the United States. It's going to happen to whoever comes to the United States. Their female is going to get out of control, and I land my plane.
Mm-hmm. So what's so hard for me, right, as a Black American in the position that I'm in, right, is to have Africans tell me my reality or my future.
There
When
we
you
go.
guys go,
Softness.
when you got,
Start crying. Why don't you start crying? Where's the violins?
damn,
Where's the
bro.
violins at?
I'm not crying.
You are crying.
I'm trying not to shit on you.
You can do what you want, bro.
So
But
let
I'm
me
not
finish.
trying to argue.
African, bro.
Allow
I'm
me
a
to
Black
finish.
American, and I'm telling you the same thing, bro.
Allow me to finish, right? What I'm saying is simply this, right? Me as a Black American, my friends, right? My lodge, right? We don't need nobody but
You're
us,
repeating yourself.
right? It's because you keep cutting me off.
Nah, you
No,
already
bro.
said that, bro. We
I
already
didn't
You've got
understand where
interrupt
you
nothing
you
to
a
coming
say.
from, bro.
single. I'm
You've got
trying
nothing
to
of
just
value
get
to
my
say.
conversation out, but I didn't interrupt none of y'all.
There we
You
go.
So
interrupted
you want me to
everybody,
crash out?
bro.
Fine, I'll go there, right? Y'all have nothing to offer me as a Black American,
You
right?
don't know that.
There's
You
no
don't know that.
reason for me to come over there and invest in nothing. I could just put
Cool.
that money in Apple. This
Good.
is my reality, right?
Very.
Like, I understand your angst and your fear of colonization and white supremacy. But like I said, right, me as a Black American, I put a Black man in office in the only Western imperial nation on earth. I know a
Well,
lot of
we
y'all
put
don't
black
And
people
what
respect
in
did
it.
he do
office
for us,
everywhere,
Let me
bro?
every
What
day,
does
finish.
that
every
mean?
year.
Right, right.
What did he do for us? What did Obama being
I
in
like
office
to
do for us?
What Obama did
I was
is
gonna finish.
is allow for homosexuality and LWGTXYZ
Amen.
bullshit to enter the world. That's what you voted for. You idiot. I'm sorry. I have to just say that because what you're telling me is rubbish.
I
You're
voted
not
for
telling me
economic
anything
empowerment.
of gravitas.
There's a
You're
reason
not
my
telling me
children will
anything
always do
that
better
improves our
than
lot.
95% of the children on the continent. Right?
What? Idiot. What
Yeah, you heard
rubbish.
that? My
Bro, you can't
children,
be a Pan African with the
my
talking points that you
no,
have,
I
bro.
can.
Willie,
No,
But
you
you
man.
people
can't,
are
bro.
attack. Hold
You
on,
are a radical
hold
integrationist, and I'm a
on,
Black American, bro.
because I've
I'm
been
not a
very
continental
clear.
African.
So I don't think you understand the attack that we were under, right?
What attack? What attack, bro?
No, you just sensitive, bro. Like,
No,
bro,
I'm
I don't
not
give a fuck
sensitive.
about an African talking
I'm
about
not
the
sensitive.
people being in the ghetto is emotional, bro. That don't have nothing
I'm
to
not
do
in the
with
ghetto,
us
brother.
controlling resources in America, bro.
I'm a black gentrifier.
But you're from the
I am
ghetto.
gentrifying white HOA communities
But you're from the
as
ghetto.
we speak.
Right, you're from
Yes,
the
I
ghetto,
am.
though. All
Yes,
right, so then
I am.
that's you. That's who you were made. You that made your personality and you who you
Correct.
are.
Correct.
That culture. So I think a bigger problem is even really, and I'm going to say this is you're not going to like it, but some of y'all is the Abrahamic religions, is the corruption, is the and then the Europeans behind stirring up and instigating and pushing, the what instability and the corruption. They're aiding and abetting in that, pushing it.
You
There's
know,
nothing
you
wrong
know
with the
what's the good
Abrahamic
thing about
religion,
this
bro. That
conversation
doesn't
for
make
me,
you a
my
Christian.
brother? It puts things into perspective, right? It literally clears the field and drives me forward in my initiative, right? And my initiative is I ain't trying to save everybody. I ain't even trying to save every black
You
person in
can't
America.
save everybody,
So
bro.
what
You
would I
literally don't
care
have the
about the
power to
continent?
save
Let me
everybody, bro.
finish.
What are you
Let me
talking
finish.
about? You just like
All
hearing
right,
yourself
you
talk.
can speak now, and when you're done, allow me
Okay,
to
thank
speak
you.
on my
Okay,
brother.
be quiet, bro. Be quiet. A black person having a good job in America, there's nothing for the 40 million black Americans here in totality. You have a good job. You don't own the company. You can get fired tomorrow. They can transfer your workforce to India like they doing with a lot of these
Yep.
companies, bro. You still probably got to go through ADP and request your vacation hours off, bro. So you're not a special Negro in America. We've been having millionaires here, and that's
For a
changed
long time.
nothing for our ethnic group. We need land, territory, a military, a currency,
Amen.
Facts,
Amen.
nationhood, bruh. That's what we
facts.
need, not people that work for white people and got good jobs.
Well
Cool,
said, brother.
cool.
But I'd rather him
So
had a
again,
good job
hold
and being
on. Can
able
I
to
respond
employ
to that,
some
please?
2, 3, 4, 5, 10, whatever, however many black folks. I'd rather him do that than be somebody that is not able to do that. So
Can I
I do give
respond,
you,
please,
I
brother?
give you kudos for that, brother, that you
I
can do that.
appreciate it. I
So
appreciate it.
let's keep that real, but at the same time,
So
knowing what
again,
the brother said is actually true too.
right in the conversation of Pan Africanism, right? Again, it's about helping your own wherever, right? Maybe on the continent, maybe in the diaspora, maybe right here domestically, right? I live by that, right? So I gave you the story of my black sales team and why we were at that dinner because we were killing it, right? The point I'm making to you is this: my future isn't as bleak as some of y'all try to make it, right? If you want to make my future bleak, right? Okay, I'll hear you. And then I'll look at that continent and I see such deep bleakness that I don't even need to criticize y'all, right? I've accepted a lot of criticism here, right? But my reality is this: Black Americans, and I'll land here, right? What gave birth to the FBA is that Black Americans were raised to be Pan-African. What we ended up finding out is Pan-Africanism benefited the children of Soweto more than it did the children of Baltimore, right? So now I'm focused on me and my own, and that's still Pan-African, right?
What do you
But
mean?
you
I'm
just said you
No,
just
it's not, bro.
contradicted
And all
yourself.
right, bro. Yeah, just land your plane,
You
bro, because I'm
contradicted
gonna go
yourself.
right
You
now,
said
bro.
that
Like,
you
It's
agreed.
terrible what he just said. What he
You
just said was
agreed.
such
He
a
agreed that
mixed
a
up.
very small portion of us are Pan
listen,
Africanists.
man.
Then you
Listen.
just said, Willie, that we were raised Pan. When you say we, right? See, your we's and I and me and us.
All over the
You
place.
need to get that
I'm
together
speaking
because.
for my community. Do
no, you
you
But the
speaking for
remember?
majority of
Hold
your
on,
yourself,
while
community
bro.
hold on.
wasn't Pan
Yo,
Africanists.
bro,
The
let me
majority of
ask you.
Harlemites were not
I
Pan
know you an
Africanists.
American, right? Do you
I'm in New
remember?
York. I'm in New
So,
York now. I've been in New York for 10
so you
years.
from the town.
No,
You
I'm not from the
remember?
town, but I've been here enough and I know some history.
Got
And
you.
and
I
and,
got
and
you.
the majority of Harlem people were not Pan Africanists.
See, but that's how do you qualify that when the UNIA and everything about Garvey's movement was started in Harlem. How do you
That doesn't
follow
mean
me?
1913,
Thank
bruh.
you. Thank you.
What are you talking about, man?
What I'm saying is when you say most blacks, right, aren't Pan-African, right? I'm from Harlem. I was raised by nothing but Pan-African.
87% of us vote Democrat. Most of us are not Pan-African, bro. Like, bro, stop trying to remix life on here, bro.
Willie,
Really?
come on, Willie.
Can I just say something? You see,
You already said something and I didn't get
and
to say
so have
it.
you. So have you,
You
my
just said
friend.
a lot of
No, I didn't
nonsense,
get to
Willie.
say
I
that.
ain't gonna lie, bro. You
Every
been just
time I
talking
let
a
you
gang of
speak, you
nonsense
triggered
all
me.
night.
Why are you
Because I'm
objecting to
proud
me?
of who I am and where I am in life.
Good for
And
you.
it
Good for
triggered
you.
y'all.
No,
No, it don't
listen.
trigger me. Hey, bro, let me go right quick, bro. Look,
All right.
I'm from McGregor, bro. I've been seeing blacks since my whole fucking life. I know firsthand that changes nothing for our entire ethnic group, bro. We need resources, and the best way to control that is to have a nation of our own, bro. If you reject that, what you're saying by default is that we should be in control by whites, bro. That's what you're
Exactly.
saying.
He
Can
doesn't
I
even
come in
want his
now?
own state. He doesn't even
Guys,
want his own
guys,
state.
can I
That's
come
not
in?
what I'm saying at
Guys,
all.
can I come in? Can I come in real quick?
Of
Go
The
course.
ahead,
thing is,
Jagon.
Of
thank you
course.
very much. The thing is,
Keep it short, because I didn't
I'll
even
try
get
my
to
best.
speak.
I'll try my best to
All right.
do that. Um, um, what we need is organization. I agree with Willie in many ways, in terms of his own self determination, his drive to become economically free, to drive to move forward as an individual. I agree with these things. They're very important for an individual and a family. The thing is, as somebody said, the corruption that is in Africa is much worse than the FBA situation. The crimes that are committed African to African is much worse than anything that's going on in America, Black America. The thing is, if we are able to organize our minds on the ground, whereby the education and the emancipation of our people depicts that the material wealth in Africa goes through the Black Americans before it lands anywhere, that is a market. So it's not, if 1 million Black Americans came into Africa, that's all we need. We don't need more than that. It would allow us to have some kind of control over our own resources and where our resources go. Because we are a global entity right now, there are Africans in Asia, in Europe, in the Americas. If we organize the African continent to touch our African communities around the world, if we see ourselves as Africans, that is an organized gambit against what is befalling us with white supremacy. I'll land it there.
So
All
let's
right, so
say
cool,
a
right?
million
So
Africans
here's the
went to
problem,
Ghana.
right? Hold on,
Let's
real quick.
say a million
Real
Africans
quick,
went to
bro.
Ghana.
Can I get a moment?
Nah,
Right?
let Shy go, bro. We
All
good
right,
over
go
here,
ahead.
man.
I'll wait some
Okay, I'll
more.
be really quick. So let's say a million Africans go to Ghana, right? And I'm watching Ghana right now, man, and I'm not liking the fact that some French troops just went in there to supposedly train the
Bro,
military
don't
to.
worry about that, bro. Come on, man.
No,
Well, I'm
leave
just
him.
saying that
You
I'm
see?
not liking
Come on,
if
there's
we
only
do,
six of
bro.
us here. Well, let's have a bit of decorum if we can,
So
I'm
this
please.
is
just
why
saying
I'm
that.
asking. I've been cut off
Go
several
ahead,
times.
Willie. Go ahead,
Can
Willie.
I make a point?
Go ahead.
No,
Right?
Willie, man, you're always
So
crying. Stop crying.
no, I'm not crying, bro.
You are,
I'm
man.
trying to be humble, right? What you don't understand is I don't need you. I don't
We
need
heard you
anyone,
the first
right?
time,
Yeah, but
bro.
you said that already.
Now
You're
who's
reiterating.
crying?
You're
Now who's
reiterating
crying?
yourself, Willie. You're
Look, bro,
Now
just
who's
say
reiterating.
it.
crying?
Just go ahead and say what
He
you want to
said
say.
I
You
was
want to say
crying, bro.
Nigerian shit in the street? Cool. That don't make African Americans powerful, bro. No instability in Africa gives us power. So you dunking on them means nothing, bro. So just say what you want to say, bro. You want to talk about how fucked up their countries is? That still don't make us
No, he
powerful.
wants to
So
talk about
again,
how
my
he
brother.
doesn't need Africans
Again,
or
my brother.
Africans or something. I don't know. He said that
Again, my
already, though.
brother. I've been trying to avoid saying what you just said that we all know, right? I've been trying to avoid saying that. I want to
Cool.
be
They
clear
shit in the
on one
street. They
thing.
got
I
banditry
want to be
problems.
clear
They
on
got
one thing.
instability. They got food problems. We still don't have a nation of our own and control any resources in America.
I don't need
So
a
what?
nation of my own.
No, you don't. You.
Right.
We
We
talking
keep
about
talking about
African
you.
Americans.
And my
This
We're
is
not talking
not
black
about
Calm
about
you.
down,
people,
calm
Willie.
down. Come on,
the
one at a
same
time,
way
But
the
please.
Jews, right?
But
The small
if a
hats,
bunch of Willies got
the
together and
same
did
way
some
the small
organizing,
hats in America don't need to control a
Jews
nation,
have a
right?
nation.
The
What are you
same
talking
way
about,
the
genius?
Asians,
The
right,
state of
in
Israel
America.
exists, bruh. It's no
right,
state of
You're
African
not hearing what I'm
Americans.
right.
saying.
That's a good point.
You're not hearing what I'm saying, right?
No, you're not realizing the stupidity in your statements. That's what's happening.
I haven't been allowed to make a statement, brother.
What are you
No,
talking about?
we've
So
You being
heard
before you
fooled,
But
go
you
everything
in,
started
you
off by
said.
Bro,
You
saying
just
Willie,
said
man,
Jews
Willie,
they
don't need a
Willie.
lied, did
nation
this,
when
and did
Jews
that.
have a nation, bruh.
Bro, it's not, it's, what, how many ways can we say it?
you know
How many
my
ways can
dream.
you say it? How
You
many
want to
ways
know
can
what
you
my
say the
dream
same
is,
thing?
brother? You want to know what my dream is? My dream is to open a MAGA burgers, right? I want to sell
We
MAGA
don't give a
burgers,
fuck,
freedom
bro.
Okay,
fries,
MAGA
right?
burgers.
And and
Willie,
and
are you
and
gonna open one in
patriot.
Africa?
if we had about 100 of you doing exactly what
God
you're
damn, I
doing,
can't say
but you
nothing.
started out saying the same thing you've been
You've
saying.
been
If
saying
if
throughout this
we had
whole show,
100
Yappy.
Willies doing
I just
exactly what
shared
Willie
with
is
you
doing,
my
and they
MAGA
came
burger
together,
dream.
if it were 100 of
I never
you
said
in
that.
your
You said
position,
I'm saying the same thing.
you started off saying the exact same thing you have been
I
The
never
saying.
exact same
shared my
thing,
dream
bro.
of opening a MAGA burger,
We
right?
No,
don't we don't
man,
we don't
we
want to
don't
hear
want
it.
to hear no MAGA burger bullshit.
Right.
Willie, come
You
on.
gotta stop
And
working for the
so,
white
and
man
I
to do
I mean,
that.
it's
respect
like
that.
you're saying you're
And I
you're you're in a
respect
good
that, right?
position.
I respect that, right? So now I am going to just put my head down and focus on me and mine. You're not interested in my opinion. I get that.
Okay, so why even come on a Pan African show if that was the case,
No,
bro?
we are interested in you have some good things to say, Willie. But it's just what you're saying now. We don't agree with it. Everything that you say, we
But
agree
I
with some of the
haven't
stuff
gotten
you're
it off,
saying.
bro.
You have gotten part of it off, but you're starting off
Jesus
saying the same
Christ, man.
exact thing. That's why we're like going, bro. What's new? What are you saying that's new?
Yo, bro,
What's new,
have I
man?
gotten the same time as Ogun a single
Go
time?
go ahead, Willie.
Bro,
Go ahead.
You
I
talk more than
you keep
anybody else
saying.
tonight, bro.
Yeah, you do. You
Okay.
have
Literally.
been as
Okay.
usual. That's your
So I'll
thing,
go back on mute.
Yeah, no big
bro.
deal.
Guys,
A
Damn.
guys,
hundred Willies
guys.
doing exactly what Willie's doing, organized, coming together at a conference of salesmen in whatever area you're in. It's 100 of y'all. It's 50, 100, 1,000 of y'all, all doing this business on this level. And you come together and say, look, we're all black folks doing businesses in different in different companies. Why don't we come together and do something? Let's start a whatever. That's called organizing. That's what Jagun's talking about, being organized. And then whatever, even if you decide you want to invest because you talk about investing in Africa, my investment in my interest investing in Africa is really education. That's my lane, is education and culture. So it's not even really in the private sector. It's more about dealing with education. Yours is the private sector.
Salute to you.
We need business. We need
We
businessmen.
need you
So,
too, my
but I'm
brother.
saying though, even on a small level, you coming together with your sales team saying, why don't we invest in something? It's in China, in United States.
You know
Why
why
don't
that'll
we?
never happen?
Well, I'm saying it rhetorically. I'm not even asking you because you
Okay.
always have something to say and it's always usually decent. It's usually good, but I want you to listen this
I'm
time.
listening, brother.
Right. So at the end of the day, a large amount of us moving to Africa, as it's beginning to happen, is going to change the economics of whatever country we mostly move to if we all move to one country mainly. This is part of what's changing Ghana's economy is the influx of African Americans and other diasporans moving into Ghana. That's a good part of it. I won't say it's the major part, but certainly something's going on that's making their economy better, and it's part of it has to do with us. But I'm saying I want to be in a place where it's secure, where the leader is got some insight and willing to sacrifice. Because them brothers in the Sahel, man, they need help, man. We have got to take us. We got to get serious. We got to nut up. We got to be like ready, because if we do not deal with the shit and the realness of it, and we this time period goes by and we just continue to be, moderate or, kind of middle of the road with it, because Ghana's kind of like that, it's going to be bad. And they're going to take these countries over and we'll be back to zero. We'll be nothing.
I'll simply say good
Let me
luck.
come in, Willie. Let me
None
just
of it
come in real
affects me. I'll
good.
simply say
Willie,
good
let
luck.
me come in. Let me come in real quick and give you this scenario.
You ain't talking to FBA.
Thank
you.
you.
Talking to a black in power.
Hey, I thought you was muting up.
So
Thank you, guys.
just wish you good luck.
Thank you, guys. 20 years ago, I did a study, and the study was on the amount of black people that are in the UK. The amount of black people that are in the UK 20 years ago was 1.2 million blacks in a country that was 65 million at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that number was quite shocking to me. However,
2 million.
guys, come on. The spend power of that 1.2 million was 10 billion a year. And obviously, you know the scenario of how money moves around the black community. It was the worst of any community in the UK. So, because we were just spending our money outside. So, of 1.2 million people spending 10 billion, that actually means that every black person, man, woman, and child, could actually be a millionaire. Now, this gave us the understanding that let's create a black directory so that we know where our businesses are and we can spend money where we can among our businesses. It worked for a while and then it fell. And we were a black company who was doing this, UK Black Links. In that understanding, however, what it told me is that numbers that are organized works regardless. Dynasty is a salesman, and he would understand it from a sales point of view. The organization, yes, sir. The organization of 1 million black people from the diaspora entering back into Africa, not only would it push our culture, it would push our economy.
It's not gonna happen, bro.
I'm not fair enough. I'm not talking about 1 million people going into one country. I'm talking about we only need about 50,000 people in each.
Not gonna
That
happen.
is fair enough. Just let me land. 50,000 black people in each country, right? It's 20 countries. That would change the whole complexion of the economy in that land.
I know.
And this gives us a way of organizing ourselves for development. Now, you might say it's not going to happen, and you may well be correct.
I know I'm correct.
I'm just putting it down as a diagram. You see, before you
I'm
achieve...
a Pan-African telling you that.
Wait.
You think the FBAs are going to go over there?
Why are you doing this, Willie?
This is how you deal with me, a Pan-African.
No, you can stay where you are,
You
Willie.
think FBAs are going to hold you down?
No, Willie.
FBAs. He's talking about
Willie, you can stay. You can stay where you are. I'm speaking about. I'm speaking about a study on paper. You see, before you make moves, you have to organize the moves that you're going to make, and it has to work on paper at some level. You see, the way certain people think is so emotional. It's so away from a correct, organized, accurate demographic push to create something new. And it's almost like you see, black people are very creative, but somehow when it comes to organization, we don't do it. And we in my mind, when we speak about those who have been our leaders in our fall, the Garveyites, the Dr. Martin Luther King, the X's of this world, they have come and they have given their lives for our emancipation. But somehow we tear up all of their intellect and throw it into the dustbin instead of building upon it. And this is my issue. Why do we stop our own progress? Why? Answer that, Willie.
Yep.
Hey guys, hey, we gotta close out. Everyone, thanks so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks our family down at Mr.
Hang about.